Plays on really quickly. Straight down the guts of Launceston Arena, right into Clarence's 50. Grace is there, was he interfered with? He wasn't, said the umpire, but Clarence get the goal through Trent Standard, and they are on fire here early, Clarence. They lead 2-1 to North Launceston, one behind. A great start from the Roos.
Moves it quickly to Weberly. Oh, the kick's found wanting. He finds Burt of the opposition. Burt turns and looks forward, and all he's got is Couch. Couch strolls on in and puts it through for North Launceston's first. That's a gimme.
The captain wouldn't be happy with that.
Oh, more drama here, boys. He's going to have another kick. So that is unforgivable stuff on the last line for Clarence.
And Tom Couch makes no mistake, so what a piece of play for North Launceston. 2 quick goals, and it's all tied up here at Launceston Arena. Can't get it out. Here's O'Brien though, really cleverly walks around his player, drives it long. The man home is there. And goes inside 50, good mark taken now by Siggins. It'll go back and have a shot. He loads up Sam Siggins. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's coming back, and I think he's kicked it. Sam Siggins has scored Clarence's 3rd goal. They move out to 3-2-21 to North Launceston. 2-1-13, 80 minutes score in first quarter. Big handball over the top to the captain in Whitford, who drives it inside 50. And a great mark taken there by Burt. He wants to play on quickly. He's got his coach on the run, Tom Couch. He gobbles up the mark, interfered with as well, but the mark will be paid. Tommy Couch will go back and have a shot directly in front. He lines up, splits the middle, gets his 3rd. So Tom Couch gets North Launceston back to within 1 point on the eve of quarter time. North Bonnie get the advantage of the football. Ends up with Clarence though. Here's Grace. He gets the kick away inside 50 now. Oh, clever play from the Roos. Here's a chance for their next goal. It is a beauty. So Clarence played one back here at Launceston Arena.
Far side for Standard. Gets it and goes. Just nudges a little ball behind. Holmes ignores the runner. He's got Jones free. Ignores him too. Goes in for Wall, who's all on his own. He turns to goal. Has a shot and puts it through. Wade Wall with a sausage roll here at Launceston Arena. The Roos regain the lead. Doubles back to Fisher. Just over the top. Oh, bit of tunnel ball action.
Did well there, North Launceston, but that wasn't their best work. Here's Siggins now. Gets the handball over the top. And now a chance for the Roos to go long again. It goes right inside 50. 1-on-1 contest in the square. The mark's been taken. So Clarence will go back. It's going to be a tough angle potentially, but they're going to have a shot on goal. Coach Jeremy Weberly goes straight, goes high, and gets Clarence's 7th of the game. And their lead now increases even further to 15 points.
Over the top to Walsh. They've got runners everywhere, North Launceston. A dinky ball inside 50. Couch out in front. A top mark, and he'll go back. Comes on in. Got a decent piece of it. Never looked like missing. Tom Couch with goal number 4. Fires up North Lonnie here in quarter number 2.
Loads up Castle. No, he plays on, goes around his man. Handballs off to Chambers. Chambers goes on the right and gets the goal for Clarence. So Cutty Chambers gets Clarence's 8th goal, and that is a much needed one right on the stroke of half time.
Goes. One by Wall. Back with the Roos. Only for an instant. Whitford misses his target. O'Brien strolls in. Has a look at goal. It's bouncing. No! Goal time for the Roos. A quick one out of the middle, and they're on song here at the pouch. He finds Bennett. Cox Goodyear with a slide. Gathers inside. Oh, it's late contact. That's 50 metres. That's got to be. It was Walsh who took the mark, and he came in very late, O'Brien.
21-point lead, the Roos. That's about to be cut to 15. Thanks to Mark Walsh. And as you said, Brownie makes no mistake from the easiest of shots.
Can't quite gather. Donnelly, hands and knees, hands out. It's Palmer Hughes with good use by a foot. Finds Blackburn. He can get it onto Weberly, who's just got the goals to look at. Weberly marks, and he'll go back.
This goal is brought about from victory this time, the Brownie right. Presence of Michael Blackburn as well.
So Weberly, a bit of a hobble. Puts it through the sticks.
Right about now, there it is. Aiden Grace directly in front. The stutter works for him usually. He loads up, splits the middle, and Clarence lead this one by 4 goals. Wouldn't it be a turning point if they can move to 77? They've kicked it away here, the Roos. They load up right on 50. Goes to the square, and it's a goal. What a ripping goal from the Roos. They are up and about in this top of the table clash at Launceston Arena. This margin now is 30 points.
Holmer. And he's paid. Holmer to Couch finds goal. He gets a decent piece of it and it's through the middle. So that is just what they were after. North Lonnie with a quick reply, and it's that man again, Tom Couch. He's 5th of the day.
And the ball's still alive though, and goes, and great mark out in front by the Roos. And the mark taken, I think, by Blackburn. So what a grab out in front, big jukes. So Blackburn lining up. So a high ball, but it's an okay ball. He splits the middle, and he likes it too.
Look at the double cobra. Look at the double cobra from Blackburn. He's happy about it.
And, the kick's not a great one. It ends up in the hands of the Roos. They find super quickly inside 50. Grace is there, but a great mark taken. I think it was Murphy Cohen.
He's had a pretty handy game. He was actually marked the last inside 50 entry for North Launceston, and of course back into the defensive 50. He's always been a goal kicker at the lower grades and lower levels.
Should be easy for Murphy Cohen. Kicks it nicely straight through the middle, and the Roos are on fire here at Launceston Arena. 36-point lead. Brady Jones will paint a 50. Gets a good piece of it, but it's offline and wide. But it's to Siggins. He takes the clunk, Sammy Siggins, and he'll go back and look to put through his second.
So Siggins goes around the right, splits the middle, and Clarence have pretty much won this football game now. 15th goal there for Siggins. For the Roos 15th goal. 15-6, 96, 7-11, 53. That sort of thing happens.
Lockhart comes through, falls for Couch, he's curling. Not enough.
He has.
Well, he has.
It.
Tell you what, it didn't look like it from this angle.
That is a remarkable goal from Tom.
How has that got back in? Another one for Couch. Lockhart and Wade, ball battle. Punched clear by Winford to Event. He does well, evades one, nice goal, and finishes with aplomb. Beautiful work from Event.
And they're off and away. Inside 50 again. Holmer was there. Didn't judge the footy, but here's a chance at goal for North Launceston. And it is! Here they come! They are coming, North Launceston. They get another one in this final term, 11-14, 80 to 15-6, 96. The margin now just 16 points.
And gets it immediately on the boot. It bounces up. Interesting bit of play here. It's through! It's through from Harper! And that might just be the sealer for Clarence. Harper with an opportunistic finish. And Clarence look likely to take all 4 points here at Launceston Arena.
Plays on really quickly. Straight down the guts of Launceston Arena, right into Clarence's 50. Grace is there as he interfered with. He wasn't, said the umpire, but Clarence get the goal through. Trent Standard, and they are on fire here early. Clarence, they lead 2-1 to North Launceston, 1 behind. A great start from the Roos.
Moves it quickly to Weberly. Oh, the kick's found wanting. He finds Burt of the opposition. Burt turns and looks forward, and all he's got is Couch. Couch strolls on in and puts it through for North Launceston's first. That's a gimme.
The captain wouldn't be happy with that.
Oh, here, boys, he's going to have another kick. So that is unforgivable stuff on the last line for Clarence.
Top of all the sudden, 2 goals.
And Tom Couch makes no mistake, so what a piece of play for North Launceston. 2 quick goals, and it's all tied up here at Launceston Arena. Can't get it out. Here's O'Brien though, really cleverly walks around his player, drives it long. The man home is there. And goes inside 50, good mark taken now by Siggins. It'll go back and have a shot. He loads up Sam Siggins. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's coming back, and I think he's kicked it. Sam Siggins has scored Clarence's 3rd goal. They move out to 3-2-21 to North Launceston. 2-1-13, 80-minute score in first quarter. Big handball over the top to the captain in Whitford, who drives it inside 50. And a great mark taken there by Burt. He wants to play on quickly. He's got his coach on the run, Tom Couch. He gobbles up the mark, interfered with as well, but the mark will be paid. Tommy Couch will go back and have a shot directly in front. He lines up, splits the middle, gets his third, so Tom Couch gets North Launceston back to within 1 point on the eve of quarter time. North Bonnie get the advantage of the football. Ends up with Clarence, so here's Grace. He gets the kick away inside 50 now. Oh, clever play from the Roos. Here's a chance for their next goal. It is a beauty. So Clarence could run back here at Launceston Arena.
Far side to stand in it. Gets it and goes.
Welcome to UTAS Stadium in Launceston. It's the game of the year. It's leading up to finals, and it's not often you get 1 versus 2 coming up against each other with just a few weeks before September action. And it's what we've got today here at University of Tasmania Stadium. It's North Launceston on top of the ladder versus Clarence, who are second. It could decide the top of the ladder position come September today here. And the conditions are pretty good. We've had some showers this morning, but of course the Aurora Stadium, oops, said it Macca, UTAS Stadium as usual. It comes up beautifully after any sort of rain. So conditions will be good. There's a breeze favouring the town end. It's a little bit across the ground. When we look at the windsocks out there, it is blowing a little bit from west to east, but I think it will favour the town end a little bit in this game. And welcome my fellow commentators today. First of all, City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5, and the TSL live stream, Matthew McGee.
Yes, good afternoon, Dave, and good afternoon to all of our listeners and also our viewers this afternoon. And aren't we in for a treat today, Dave? Well, I hope we are, because the top two teams, we go back to the halcyon days of the TSL, Dave, and these two sides, they met in finals, and they continue the rivalry today. They both sit 13-2 on the ladder. Their percentages are very, very similar, and they've both been in pretty good form. North Launceston's probably still a couple of question marks without the likes of Taylor Whitford and Jay Lockhart also out of the side. But Clarence, they're starting to get themselves up the ladder again after a couple of years out of TSL finals, and they're a proud club. And look, they're going to be strong today, and I think they might cause a little upset, if you can call it an upset. But yeah, I think Clarence.
Welcome also to our stats man today, Dave Gruber. Welcome, Dave.
Good afternoon, Dave.
It's a pretty exciting contest, this one, 1 versus 2, and you'll be with us today giving us all the team stats as the game progresses.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Thanks, Dave.
No worries. And Craig Boone alongside Dave will also be at the quarter breaks giving us some of the individual...
An upgrade, Booney.
He has, yes.
He's up from the boundary.
He's up from the boundary today. Speaking of the boundary, we've got Adam Child down there, and we'll hear from him in just a moment. Macca, there's been a late change, and probably an important one, and we talk about the North Launceston defence. Tyron Mansell is out, Casey Curtis is in.
Yeah, Tyron Mansell's been a terrific player, hasn't he, since coming back from the Western Storm, and he's been really good across half-back. Of course, they've also lost Aaron Richter-Solder during the week.
Yep.
We might get onto that later on. It's a strange decision to challenge that, and now he's out for a couple. And also, there was a whisper around last night, Dave, that Jeremy Webley was going to play for Clarence today. He was named an emergency. The news went with that he was going to play. But for our listeners and our viewers, Jeremy Webley is out.
That's right. So Clarence are as selected, as he said, for North Launceston, Tyrone Mansell out, and Casey Curtis, number 32, comes into the team.
Of course, back in round 9, these two teams met. It was a pretty good game, and in the end it was Clarence getting over the line by about 17 points. And look, can North Launceston match it today? They are pretty experienced, Clarence. And North Launceston are going to have to be on top of their game. Zach Burt's going to be a pivotal figure. It looks like he might even start down back today, Dave, there. And Ryan Mansell is back in from our last coverage game. He's a terrific young kid, part of the North Melbourne Next Gen Academy.
And, of course, Taron Thomas was in doubt with the knee injury, and he's out there today as well.
He's going to start forward with Bart McCulloch and also Tommy Bennett. So Zach Burt back and Taron Thomas forward.
Cross down now to Adam Child, Warney on the boundary line. He's going to give us all the lowdown on the conditions down at ground level. G'day, Warney.
Yeah, guys. Now, as you mentioned just earlier, Dave, the wind is blowing towards the city end, a little bit across the ground, so will be a bit of a factor as we see the scoring end is the city end of the ground. So those people watching on the live screen will be to the right of screen, and North Launceston are kicking that way to begin with, so I'm sure that they'll be wanting to take advantage of that as we go. As we saw with some of those matchups, Zach Burt down in the back line to start with here, and I think we're all set to go. North Launceston were out there ready and raring to go. I think they've probably almost had 2 minutes standing in position while the Clarence guys were getting organised, but we're set for a cracking contest today, I think.
Thanks, Warney, on the boundary line. We'll hear from you during the day. Macca.
On-ball divisions, Dave, is going to be crucial today, isn't it? Alex Lee's there with Bradley Cox-Goodger, Mark Walsh, and Jared Ponting's also there for North Lonnie. But the Brady Jones, the Ian Callanan, and that'll run through the midfield, and, of course, Jackson O'Brien. It's going to be a terrific battle with Wade Wall leading their ruck duties.
Mercury Cup score today, North Launceston were defeated by Clarence 17-12 to 4-3, with Clarence kicking 9 goals in that last quarter. Progressive score quickly, it's Lauderdale 78, Burnie 21 at West Park late in the second quarter. For the City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 and the TSL live stream, we're underway. Matthew McGee.
This is what we come to the footy for, Dave. It's 1 versus 2 on the ladder. The ball goes up, comes down though to Brady Jones, the skipper for Clarence. He kicks forward for the first time for Clarence. Well hit in there was Trent Stanton, and in fact he's given it away. It's on behind play, and that's the youngster, Dave, the inclusion. One of the inclusions this week, Fletcher Bennett's going to take the retrieving free kick. The umpire's going to bring him back though. I think he might have even got the book out of the sock, and he looks as though he could be reporting Trent Stanton here. Oh. So there we go, the first play of the day. Trent Stanton, he did come through strong. I didn't exactly catch what he did, but he threw the body around. And Fletcher Bennett, welcome to TSL football, the Scotch Oakburn student. He's willing to play on, but the umpire's still doing his paperwork. And Fletcher Bennett on half-back flank. So, Dave, a interesting start to today's play.
Well, sensational start, Mac. Trent Stanton, he went heavy into that contest. And, I think he might have caught young Bennett high. We'll see that one during the week, of course. But
been given a little warning card as well. The umpire's not happy. So, a delay in the play. Sensational start, a minute in. And Fletcher Bennett holds the ball on half-back flank. He's one of the inclusions, Dave.
Yeah.
We saw a bit of him at Scotch Oakburn this year in the school footy. So a big role for him.
Son of Richard Bennett.
He would be nervous, former state cricketer, of course. And he goes in short to Baker. Baker's going to come out here onto the wing. He goes long down the line, looking for Alex Lee, and Wade Wall's there. Big punch from the big Wallster. Comes down to one of my favourites, Dave, going a bit of airtime. Jake Pearce gives it over to Ryan Mansell. Mansell goes inside 50, kicks to no one. He looks for Taron Thomas. Oh, the ball bounces sideways. Big Taron picks it up, snaps, but through for a point. And that's the first score on the board in today's clash. North Launceston one behind. Lee Clarence yet to score. And good hands there, Jake Pearce. He's had an excellent last 5 weeks. And Clarence get the kick out. The ball goes to Jackson O'Brien. Goes over the top, looking for Zach Mastrocola. Ball comes back inside, scrubby kick. Here's Jake Pearce again. Gives it out the back, Bradley Cox-Goodger. Keep your eye on him today, Craig Boone. You'll get plenty of it. Cox-Goodger goes inside, can't hit the target. Ball goes out of bounds, left forward pocket.
Talon Couch said in the Examiner today, Macri, he's one of the toughest players he's played with physical strength.
Physical strength, and he's had another terrific season.
Boundary throw in, about 30 metres around from North Launceston goal. They've had the first attacking foray in this clash. About 2.5 minutes in. Boundary throw in. McCulloch. He's been to it there by Bailey. Falls to Ponting. Lose possession. O'Brien's in there. He gets a handball away to space. Pearce is first there for North Launceston. He picks it up. He's tackled immediately. He's going to get a ball up here.
Yeah, full credit to Cox Goodyear, Dave. You might remember a couple of years ago he went over to Victoria, came back, wasn't in the best of form, and he actually got dropped during the season, and he's a long way from that now.
Brady Jones on halfback. Takes a bounce. Steadies. Kicks up the line. Might have been a hand in the back there. It was from Siggins against Burt. Siggins complaining.
So there's the match-up, isn't it?
Yep.
Siggins centre-half forward, Zach Burt manning him up.
And I think that would have been Tyron Mansell been playing today, but of course he's a late out. It's now with Connor Young. Goes sideways. It's across half-back to Jackie Event. He goes short, and he finds Walsh on the bounce. Mark Walsh now has an option in Ponting by foot. Ponting 2 kicks out from goal. Now inside 50. Over the back, it's a strong mark. It's taken there by Tom Bennett. And he'll line up from about 40 out, 45-degree angle. And a good movement from half-back. That's their game, isn't it, Macca? They switch the play from half-back, and then beautiful kick inside 50 to the advantage of Tom Bennett.
Yeah, look, he's part of that 5, isn't he? Those 5 goal kickers. Couch, Burt, Cox Goodyear, McCulloch and Bennett. They're all terrific goal kickers.
Bennett for goal for the first one for North Launceston. It swings back, but it's been touched.
That's why it didn't come off the boot real well by the looks.
That's right, 1 behind. So it's North Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points. Clarence yet to score.
So it's all North Launceston into attack. Brady Jones straight down the middle. Excellent kick. Finds his teammate right on the 50. He looks left and looks right, as does Matthew Ling. Ling goes out a little bit wider. So Clarence, they're just going to steady right here at the moment. 4 minutes gone. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7 or via the live stream right across the ground. Finding James Holmes. Holmes goes back to Brady Jones. Coming out here and finding Jason Bailey. So Bailey was in outstanding form earlier in the year, playing that key defensive post. He's got the matchup on McCulloch. Comes over to Timmy Castle. You're gone, Timmy Castle. Play on, the umpire says advantage. Ponting over to Pearce. Pearce looks long. Here's Tarrant Thomas. He's got the sit. He goes up. Michael Fisher. He rebounds and a scrubby kick forward, and they save the day again, Clarence. Clarence now centre wing. It's been a tough start. Stannon's already been reported by the umpire in the first contest of the day. Ball's on centre wing. Fletcher Bennett. Inside 50 now for North Launceston. Louis Holmer. 1-2 bite to the cherry. And Louis Holmer takes the mark 40 metres out. Not much of an angle. So Louis Holmer, one of those interesting players. We can never really get a grasp on what his role is, Dave.
He's versatile.
He's versatile. He'll spend a bit of time in the ruck. He'll spend a bit of time up forward on a wing. At times he looks awkward. But he's been one thing he has been is a terrific competitor for North Launceston, coming over with Tom Couch from the mainland. So Lewis Holmer breaks the 50. Looks to kick North Lonnie's first. That is a floating punt. And lo and behold, it falls in Tarrant Thomas's hands. And he snaps it over his shoulder for the first goal. Well, Dave, it was a forward punt that didn't go exactly where he wanted it to go. And Tarrant Thomas takes it and kicks it through for a goal.
Yeah, for a moment there I thought Louis Holmer meant to do that, but I'm sure he was going for goal. It was, if he meant to do it, it was the most superb pass, but Gribbs is shaking his head. No, he said...
I like Tarrant Thomas playing up forward because I think that's where he plays most natural. He struggled down back early here a couple of weeks ago against Glenorchy and then went forward and actually nearly turned the game for his team. Was very instrumental. So first goal, Tarrant Thomas. Lee comes down, can't find his teammates. Kick's taken by Henslow, but kick forward by North Launceston. McCulloch's there, as is Mastrocola. Over the top, there's Barty, back to Thomas, though he steals it. And Bart McCulloch's going to dribble the kick through. There's a second one for North Launceston. They're 2-2-14. Clarence yet to score. Inside 50s, Dave Gruber.
6 to North, been inside Clarence once.
Well, there you go. Even though Clarence looked to be winning the clearances 3-1, it's a terrific start for North Launceston on ball as Dave Moore.
I think that inside 50 for Clarence too was when North Launceston brought it back from their half-back line. So a dominant start to North Launceston. They do have the advantage of the breeze. As Warnie said, it is favouring the town end here at UTAS Stadium.
Another score involvement, Tarrant Thomas. Early touches, Booney. What are we looking for the big T train?
3 possessions so far.
3 possessions, Tarrant Thomas, the youngster.
Up in the centre again. Lee does well. Doesn't get to his on-ballers. Follow up there. I think it's Wade Wall in there. It'll be a secondary ball up right in the centre circles. Listen to 103.7 FM City Park Radio, 96.5. Also via the TSL live stream. All the scores around Tasmania today. Big game at KG5. Cam Brown will be there to give us all the news on that one. As Ponting's got it, he spins out of trouble, gets it over nicely to Donnelly. Now here comes Donnelly, handball over the top to Pearce, who's had a bit of it early. He's clear, short pass, Pearce to Thomas, takes the mark. About 35 out, 45-degree angle on the left-hand side of UTAS Stadium. And that's great, moving out of the centre there by the Bombers. And Jake Pearce has had a few possessions already.
Yeah, look, Jake Pearce went through one of those stages where he sort of didn't know where he was playing, Dave. Earlier on in the year, he's playing a little bit back, a little bit forward. Now he just settles into that on-ball sort of half-forward role, and he's had a terrific last 5 weeks.
Taryn Thomas in the lime green boots. Deliberate approach for his second, and North Launceston third. Makes no mistake. Taryn Thomas 2, North Launceston 3. It's 3-2-20. Clarence yet to score.
Well, it's all North Launceston, isn't it? 2 goals to Taryn Thomas, 1 to Bart McCulloch, and they're up and away, the Bombers. They were favourites going in, but I just had a feeling that Clarence might bring their game today, but we just haven't seen any of it early on. The games can swing though, Dave.
Yep.
And Siggins has gone into the ruck. Probably a good move. Wade Wall was getting killed in the ruck by Alex Lee.
Back in the middle again. Siggins and Lee. Lee does well, straight down to Couch. Round the corner, inside 50 again for North Launceston. Here's Thomas, the excitement machine. He tries to tap it over there to Simpson. It's on the ground, Bennett's there. Well done there by Castle. Nice look away handball to Wiley. Keegan Wiley now. Kicks long outside defensive 50. Callanan rises high. He can't take it. Up there against Donnelly. It's on the far side. Player there caught with the ball might have been O'Brien. Mitch Donnelly's in there. There's Tom Donnelly. Gets the handball away. Picked up by Chambers. Scrubby old kick. Only as far as Event. He goes backwards now. Here towards Simpson. Simpson gets a kick sideways in towards the centre of UTAS Stadium. Picked up by Caelan Baker. Thinks about a handball. Now goes by foot. Up here and well done. Good use of the body there by Louis Holmer. He gathers on the second attempt. Over to Ponting. He goes short here. And he finds a teammate just in time before the ball hit the deck. And that's Tom Bennett. And it's a second shot from almost the exact position for this quarter. He had one earlier, which was touched. So he's got another opportunity. Tom Bennett, come back from that terrible Achilles injury in the finals a couple of years ago. And he's back playing his best footy. He approaches the man on the mark. There's Tom Bennett. Launches for goal. It's off to the left, one behind. It's 3-3-21 North Launceston. Clarence yet to score. Been playing about 10 minutes here at UTAS Stadium.
Those inside 50s again, Groobs.
9 out of North Launceston, still only the one for Clarence.
6 shots on goal to 0 as well. Clarence are in a big struggle at the moment. They've had to go short, and Sam Siggins is tucked right away in the back pocket. He has nowhere else to go but down the line. He's kicked it straight to his opponent in Alex Liu. Can't take the mark. Ball comes down the front. Brady Jones, there's Ian Callanan. Gives it off to Jake Cox. Looks to kick. Goes back again, though. Looks up forward. Can't find the big Buchner. The ball comes down to Ryan Mansell, his Mariners teammate. Ball's kicked forward, right on centre half forward for North Lonnie. The umpire pays a free kick, and it's given to Keegan Wiley. Wiley gives it off to Callanan. Usually a good kick of the footy, Callanan. That was out in front there at the moment. Here's Big Sauce Donnelly. Can't take the ball. Brady Jones been pretty prolific early. Big Donnelly, though, comes away from it. Gives it over to Walsh. Walsh goes back indoor to Couch. Couch back to Donnelly from 50. This will be a great goal if it bounces through, but it doesn't. Misses near side, and there's another behind. But it's another inside 50 as well. It's 3-4-22 to Clarence yet to score. And ball is on Clarence's half-back line.
With Jake Cox, chips it to Chambers. Who's he going to play on? That could be 50 against McCulloch, yes. Umpire beckons him up the ground. Went in a bit too aggressively there. Chambers was thinking of playing on, but McCulloch probably should have tempered his aggression. And he'll pay the penalty. At half-time at West Park, it's Lauderdale 12-6-78, Burnie 4-3-27. It's the early start game there. We'll get some early scores in a moment from the other TSL games. So Chambers, chance now for Clarence to go inside there, attacking at 50. He decides to go short though. And it's play on, it's not 15. As Palmer Hughes gets caught there, he does a good follow-up tackle on Thomas. Falls to Pearce. Now with Mark Walsh, he turns around to Couch. Long 25-metre handball over the top. It's now back with Pearce from Bennett. Pearce will launch for goal, but it's going to be off to the right. Out of bounds on the full. Opportunity missed there for the Bombers. Margin stays at 22 points.
Be interesting to hear from Warney down on the boundary if that wind is having an effect, because things seem to be going pretty easy for North Lonnie at the moment. Ball comes over the top for Clarence. It's Palmer Hughes. Gives it back to his teammate in Gabe Chambers out of the back line. looks up and finds Callanan. So on the railway wing, Callanan looks back inside. He's got a teammate running outdoors, but he comes back inside. It's a bit of an up and under kick. He was looking for Hanslow. It's been chopped off by Ponting. Ponting comes out to Holmer. They're running everywhere at the moment. Here's Big Bart. He's taken in the contest, though, by O'Brien. McCulloch didn't know he was there. Ball comes out the back to Palmer Hughes. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien looks inboard to Hanslow. Hanslow goes in again. Oh, he puts his captain under the pump in Jones, and North Lonnie are up and about. The ball comes over to Foon, but he's well tackled by Callanan. Foon gets the kick away. Out in front of Clarence there in James Holmes. And the ball is taken, and the umpire says, I will ball it up. Geez, they brought the pressure today, Dave Moore, Northern Bombers.
There's some good footy being played, Macca. It's frenetic stuff. We've hardly seen any stoppages. There's a ball up there.
Well, there's a stoppage, and no one, in fact, goes up. The ball hits the deck without any ruckman going up. And it's going to be another one. Let's see whether the ruckman can get their act together this time. That was bizarre.
That's Lee for North Launceston. Up against Siggins. Lee gets it to the base of the pack there. Well done. Might have been Wiley. Gets it away to Harper. Handball to Jones. Jones up towards half forward. It's a contest on the far side of the ground. Player tackle of the ground there is Hayden Goss. It's stripped of him. It's taken away now by Roberts to Callanan. Shrugs a tackle now from Mansell. Callanan kicks towards attacking 50. And it's a mark taken there by Jackson O'Brien. And he's a long way out. Now he's going to go short. He's got a player all by himself. And it'll be Buchner who takes the mark. About 35 out, slightly left of centre.
Well, Zach Buchner's an interesting one, Dave. He's played as a Mariner overager this year as a 19-year-old. He set the world on fire in the first lot of TAC Cup games, but then really struggled since then. Look at the body on him, Dave. He's a massive unit for a 19-year-old, but just needs to impose himself on the games because he's got all the athletic attributes. It's just that competitiveness that everyone looks for.
This is a desperately needed goal for Clarence just to steady the ship. After a huge start from North Launceston, Zach Buchner approaches the man on the mark. Let's fly for goal. He's done well. It's just inside the left-hand goal post. It's a goal to Clarence. It's their first for the afternoon. 1 goal straight 6, trailing North Launceston 3-4-22, and they're up and about now.
That's what he's got to do. Zach Buchner playing as that sort of third high half forward. And it's going to be a battle of those centre line clearances. Because if the midfields can get on top, I believe they'll go a long way to winning the game. It was early on, it was North Lonnie, and now it's Clarence, Dave.
Adam Child down on the boundary. What do you got for us, Warnie?
Yeah, just quickly with that wind, it's pretty much still heading towards the city end, but it is swirling around a bit, sort of heading across the ground a little bit more as the game's gone on.
Thanks, Warnie. Good start for North Launceston. Here's Macca.
Ball comes down to Mark Walsh, snaps it over the top. It's only going as far as Bailey, though. Bailey snaps the ball forward. Ball comes over to Connie Young on the half-back line for the Northern Bombers. They fumble a bit. Charging through the pack was Clarence. And over it comes here to Clarence in Jared Harper. It's an up and under kick. He's got Palmer Hughes running towards the boundary. The ball beats him over the line. A slight missed opportunity by Jared Harper. Got a note here. Could you mention the green armbands being worn for respecting umpires? We love the umpires here at City Park Radio. We respect them every week, Dave, don't we?
Now, it's a great initiative, the Green Armbands Day, because there's been a bit of a few issues lately and a few...
right around the state of the nation. The ball's been thrown in. Comes down, though, to Mark Walsh. Comes over the top to Baker. Baker for North Launceston. It's a one-on-one with Buchner. Buchner wins this battle. Started well, the Buch. He gets caught, gives it over to O'Brien. Quick hands out the back to Harper. He's going up and down on the spot over in the pocket. No, you're right, Dave, about the umpires. It's in recognition, isn't it? All the players are wearing it out of respect for the umpires. We can't have games without them. And I think the umpires at TSL level, all the games we've done anyway, Dave, they have been very fantastic and have done a really good job bringing a great product to us here in the state of Tasmania. The ball comes down to Ponting. Ponting to Baker. Baker to Walsh. It's a little bit fumbly at the moment. Well picked up down there by Clarence and Nathan Douglas. The could have been a push in the back to Homer. The umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up. So it's 3-4-22 North Launceston. They lead Clarence 1 goal 6. 17 minutes gone here in the first quarter at UTAS Stadium.
Get some AFL updates from your second Macca as McCulloch gets it down to a teammate who's set upon.
Your Giants playing again this afternoon, Dave?
I think they're 3 goals down already. There's Couch there in the bottom of the pack.
Do you like that or love that, Dave?
We'll see. As McCulloch gets it down this time. Player might have been pushing the back there. Yes, the umpire saw that one. That was Ponting. He gets on his feet, and he's had a good first quarter.
I don't know who's giving you the scores, Dave, because the Giants 8-6-54 lead Melbourne 3 straight 18.
Oh, someone's told me the wrong thing. Maybe they kicked the last 3. Maybe that was it.
Maybe that was the issue, but the Giants are up.
Ponting kicks up towards the wing. Bailey can't take possession. Here's Couch, handball over his head in hope. Taken by O'Brien. He gets tackled immediately. Ball on the deck. Player might have been pushed in the back there with Donnelly. Mitch Donnelly. The umpire comes in and will ball it up. 2 kicks out from goal. Yes, Macca?
They set up well behind the football, Northern Bombers. You can see Jay Foon down there, Zach Burt. They just set up behind the footy. They put a lot of time into it. The ball's thrown up. McCulloch could have given the free kick away. Punches it down, though. Only goes down as far as Jake Cox. He's a terrific player, Jake Cox. Great to have him back in the lineup after a few weeks off with an injury. He goes down the line. He can't find Siggins, but Siggins butters up. Didn't have the footy. The umpire goes... Play on. Matthew Link kicks inside 50. Looking for Palmer Hughes. He hasn't got it. Goss is going to repel. Oh, no, he overruns it. Goes back to Palmer Hughes. Over the top here looking for and finding Jones. Jones can't get rid of the ball. In fact, it's Jordan Roberts. He goes back inside. Here's Standen. It's been reported early on today. Comes back inside. Plenty lining up for Clarence. But it's well cut off by Mansell. Over the top here, Clarence. The goal scored. Tyler Hanslow. Not quite. Misses far side. Through for a behind. Really scrappy at the moment, Clarence. 1-1-7 trail North Launceston. 3-4-22.
They're back in the contest, though. They leaked goals early. But last few minutes have been good from the Kangaroos. Long kick out there by Burt. Only as far there as Cox, who can't take the mark. It's now out. It's kicked inside there by Buchner. Long, he kicked the first goal. It's going to fall to Callanan. In fact, it's Standen has taken the mark in the forward pocket. Speedy Standen. He's starting to come alive in this game. He and Callanan, of course, have been in superb form. Same with Blackburn. So we've got Standen on a bit of a stiff angle on the right-hand side. For our listeners, he's only about 10 metres out, but on a very sharp angle. He comes around, goes the banana for goal.
It's a special.
And I think it's through. He's been congratulated by his teammates. Standen kicks the second for the Kangaroos. 2-1-13. North Launceston 3-4-22.
Now, Groobs, those inside 50s were about 10-2 about 5 minutes ago. What are they now?
Well, Clarence has had the last 7 inside 50s, and they've closed the gap there. They're up to 8, and North Launceston's still on 11.
Yeah, Mark's inside 50.
Mark's inside 50, North Launceston 5, and Clarence has got 3
And
now.
clearance is pretty even as well.
Yeah, 5-6, North Launceston's favour.
5-6. Ponting started well. 7 kicks for Ponting, and also Callanan and Jones well on board. O'Brien doing the work inside. He's had 4 handballs and 2 kicks. Thanks, Craig Boone, for the individual stats. We've got everything happening here for you today. Ponting gets this one again, but he's taken in the tackle. And it's going to be a secondary ball up. 20 minutes gone in an entertaining contest. You're listening to City Park Radio or the online stream if you've got it on at home. Ball comes down to Ponting. Ponting only goes as far as Bailey, though. He's taken in the tackle. Didn't kick the ball, umpire. And the umpire says, give it to me. It could have been either or. And the umpire says, play on. So he's going to ball the ball up. Just forward of forward of the centre for North Launceston. The ball comes down. It's a little bit scrappy here at the moment. There's O'Brien again. Another handball over the top. Clarence, they're going to go forward. Up it goes Siggins. He takes the leap. But it only goes as far as Burt. And Burt's been paid the free kick. So Zach Burt, he started back today. It's a good luxury to have Zach Burt, who's had 30-odd goals for the season. He goes right across the ground. Switches the play. Finds Connie Young. Young comes back inboard. Finds Avent. Avent. Goes to Donnelly right at his shoelaces. Donnelly picks it up well. Ball comes back down to Baker. Baker goes down the line. Can't find Holmer. Couch is there, as is Bailey, fighting hard. Taron Thomas through. Nice little toe poke for Holmer. Tom Couch has got Bennett on in the square. And Tom Bennett takes the mark. There was just a little Louis Holmer toe poke there, Dave. It just cleared the ball from the stoppage. And Tom Bennett's taken a mark 2 metres out. And he's going to kick North Launceston's 4th. His first. He's had 3 shots at goal already, Tom Bennett. Adam Child, you're on the boundary.
Wait for the goal kick there, Macca.
Right, yep. Adam Child, we've got you.
No, wait till we might just wait till the.
Okay, Tom Bennett's going to kick the goal. It was a given, Dave. I was going to put it down. We didn't really need to call it. It's Tom Bennett kicks North Lonnie's 4th. Warnie, what do you got?
Yeah, no, we'll be keeping a bit of an eye on Sam Siggins there in that marking contest with Zach Burt. He did go down on his ankle a little bit. He's hurting a bit. He stayed out on the ground. He's having a bit to do with Zach Burt at the moment. So will be one to monitor there because he did look pretty properly on that.
He has that history, doesn't he, Siggins, of injuries that curtailed his AFL career there at Adelaide.
Back in the middle, it's 4-4-28 North Launceston, 2-1-13 at Clarence. And a bit of a steady there for the Bombers after a big start they had in the first 10 minutes of this quarter. There's going to be a secondary ball up as players descend upon the footy, although it's kicked out now by Ling. Up towards right half forward, Blackburn in front. Good ball from behind there by Simpson. Young man, his second game in the TSL. He's now on the base of the pack here and it'll be a ball up. So Ben Simpson, a son of Marcus Simpson.
Yeah, former State League player and North Lonnie back in those days when they had those big battles with Clarence.
It's a ball up. It's Lee up against Wade Wall. So Wall does well, gets a big tap away only as far as Donnelly's had a big first quarter. Round the corner, Tom Donnelly. Falls out of Mastrocola. Handball sideways to Holmes. Holmes further field to Chambers. Sweeping handball over now to Palmer Hughes. Clarence building once again here from the wing. Nice penetrating kick into the breeze. Foon almost takes a big mark. He gets the ball back. Oh, he took his eyes off it. Now it's a chance for Jake Cox. Inside 50 over the top. He's got Siggins. Goes one-handed. Doesn't take the mark. It goes through for a behind. Clarence 2-2-14. North Launceston 4-4-28.
Early score at the MCG. Essendon 2-2-14. Lead Carlton 1 goal straight. And it's Fozzie Moore's Giants by an even 6 goals. Then in Canberra, Foz.
Yep.
Big crowd at Canberra by the sounds of it. Nearly a full house supporting their Giants. Ryan Mansell gets the kick in. Takes it on half back. Finds Ponting. Plenty of the footy, Ponting. He gets under the radar of a lot of clubs, Ponting. He comes out wide for Pearce. Left-hand handball over the top to Baker. Baker looks down the line. He's got Taron Thomas's on. He steps inside. He's going to find Couch on the lead. He's taken in the kick. And it's got to be a free kick. Thomas plays on. Mark Walsh on the left. It's another ugly-looking kick. Big Sauce Donnelly's there. Can't take it. Through for a behind. Chance goes begging. North Launceston. They move along. 4-5-29. Clarence 2-2-14.
Dare I say, Macca, that was a dribble kick?
Oh, no, I think he miskicked that one. I'll give him
one.
that one. I won't take that one to Jason Dunstall.
Keegan Wiley with the kick out. He goes to himself. He's going to go to the far side of UTAS Stadium. He takes a bounce. Cruises along the boundary line. Now he kicks along outside defensive 50. It's a contest over there. Lee and Wall. It's fisted over the boundary line. It's a nice day here at Aurora at UTAS Stadium. Get used to that one. It's had a lot of showers this morning and a few mils of rain overnight, but it's not a bad day here for this 1 versus 2 clash. You'll listen to City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and the TSL live stream. It's the Bombers at the moment by 15 points deep in this first term. Here's Cox Goodger, breaks a tackle. A long kick inside 50. Cox Goodger. Is it going to be a goal? It is! Fantastic kick from Cox Goodger. I don't know how many times over the years we've called a goal like that one from outside the 50. He got clear on that left boot and made no mistake. Fantastic work, Cox Goodger. 5-5-35, North Launceston. Clarence 2-2-14.
I was about to say it actually started the game pretty quietly. I think that was only his second possession for the game. And what a ripper it was. And they've now skipped along to 5-5-35. Clarence 2-2-14. 25 minutes gone here in this first quarter.
It's ebbed and flowed, hasn't it, Macca?
Yeah.
North Launceston had the better of that first 10 minutes and Clarence came back again and now North have steadied.
So it's that top 2 battle, but North Lonnie have the upper hand at the moment. The likes of Jared Ponting, there he goes again, has another touch. Holmer just playing in front. It's simple football and they run and spread as they do. He comes out wide to Baker. Baker looks in, he's got Bennett on the lead again. He's already had a few shots. There's the big jukes at Tommy Bennett. He's had 3 shots exactly from this spot. That's his leading patterns and we're right behind this one. Let's see if you can get a bit better contact, but terrific movement. You know, it started with Holmer just playing in front, kick forward, and then they're away. They spread and go. Little bit of happening behind the play, Dave. You spotted something?
It's like
Cox Goodger off for the blood rule.
Yeah, he's copped a knock.
Bennett, that's not one of his better efforts, and that's out of bounds, near side. And that's his 3rd shot from that position, and he's only really kicked 1 goal, and that was from the top of the square. So he's taken at least 4 marks inside 50. How many marks inside 50 for North Lonnie groups?
7 to North Lonnie.
Yeah, 7 to North Lonnie, 3 to Clarence. Palmer Hughes, back pocket. Former Mariner. He's a terrific runner, Palmer Hughes. You'll go all day. Excellent engine. This is probably his downfall, though, is the kick. But that one, what a mark there by Buchner. He started the game well. He's explosive. Buchner, I don't know where he's going. He comes back inboard, gives it over the top to O'Brien. Another one who started the game well. Plenty of touches. That's an excellent kick on the 45. Donnelly rushes down Clarence opponent. There it goes forward, though, looking for Roberts. He can't take the ball. It's going to be repelled by Bennett, who cops one after he kicks it. The umpire saw it. He's going to give it downfield, even though the ball was marked by Gabe Chambers.
I think it was young Simpson, Macca.
It was young Simpson, was it?
Yep.
They're Scotch Oakburn teammates. They look very similar. In fact, it was Simpson. So he's taken down behind play. But the siren's gone, and that's the end of the first quarter. The round 18 clash, and it's North Launceston 5-5-35. Lead Clarence 2-2-14. The goal kickers for North Lonnie, it's Taryn Thomas with 2, Bart McCulloch, Tom Bennett, Bradley Cox-Goodger with 1. And for Clarence, it was 1 to Standen and 1 to Bushnar.
Groovers, you got some team stats to us there till quarter time.
Yeah, hitouts in North's favour, 12-6. Clearances, 10 to North Launceston, 7 to Clarence. Inside 50s, 15 to North Launceston, 10 to Clarence. I had that spell there at about 7 in a row. Marks inside 50, 7 to North Launceston and 3 to Clarence. And free kicks were 7 to North Launceston and 3 for Clarence.
Thanks, Groobs. And Booney, you've got some of the individual stats there.
Yeah, so leading possession winner for North Launceston, Ponting with 9. That's 8 kicks and 1 handball, and also 3 marks. And Walsh and Thomas have also done well with 5 possessions each. For Clarence, O'Brien leading there with 8 possessions, 3 kicks and 5 handballs. And a bit of an even spread after that with Callanan and Jones, with 4 being the next best.
Cheers, Bernie. And it's been some great contributors. Jake Pearce and Tom Donnelly, fantastic first quarter also for North Launceston. And you mentioned Bush and the two-macker has been
explosive.
Yep, been explosive. Mackie, got some other TSL scores there.
Yeah, the TSL score. Glenorchy leads at Launceston 30-9. Jay Bowden's got 2 and Sonny Whiting 1. The Tigers 2-7-19 lead Devonport 2-2-14 at quarter time. And it's Lauderdale by approximately 50 points down at West Park against the Burnie.
Quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. It's North Launceston 5-5-35 Clarence. We're back in a moment after this break. UTAS Stadium at quarter time. It's 5-5-35 North Launceston Clarence 2-2-14. We're going to get quickly now to KG5. The other big game today is Glenorchy versus Launceston, 4th versus 5th. Welcome to City Park Radio, Cam Brown. What can you tell us about how it's unfolding, Cam?
Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, listeners. It's Glenorchy 5 goals straight 30, leading Launceston 1-3-9. That is the quarter time score at the moment. The goal kickers, Jay Bowden has 2 goals. His brother Tyler has 1, and 1 also to Harry Pearce and Brady Rowbottom. And for Launceston, their sole goal kicker has been Sonny Whiting.
And any wind advantage there, mate? Or it's just good play there from Glenorchy?
No win advantage to speak, really, Dave. But they've really struggled, Launceston, just to penetrate across half forward, and they have been helped by some sloppy skill errors and a couple of 50-metre penalties and free kicks and turnovers. The main way that Glenorchy have scored today. So I do fear at the moment for Launceston, there doesn't seem to be a lot of spark for them at the moment, particularly up forward. Kelly Mansell's been pretty well held at the moment. Josh Arnold's got the job on Whiting, so that's a pretty good matchup. And young Casey Brown's got the tough gig on Jay Bowden. So, no, I just fear that this Glenorchy outfit looks like they're on today. And early days, obviously, Dave, but you'd think that Glenorchy should run away with this and get a pretty comfortable victory unless Launceston can fight their way back into this game.
Cheers, Cam. Just that quarter-time score again, please.
Yeah, quarter time here, Dave. It's Glenorchy 5 goals straight 30, leading Launceston 1-3-9.
No worries. Thanks to Cam Brown there at KG5, and Cam, we'll hear from you again at half-time.
No worries. Thanks, Dave.
Mako, what's your thoughts about...
Not great news for the Blues,
no.
is it? They're just playing flat, and Brownie said it, didn't he? They lack spark. That forward line is a real issue. They're just not kicking enough goals to score games. They rely on that chipping of the ball, and we saw it last week against Hobart City. They just lacked a lot up forward and just can't get the wins. Look, they might still fall into the finals in 5th position, but they're going to have to show a big turnaround in form if they're going to do anything else.
Let's focus back here, Macca, and what have you made of the first quarter here?
Well,
Good start from North Launceston.
I really like North Launceston's run and spread. When they get the footy, they just go, especially their wingers. Baker is getting on the end of a lot. Mark Walsh and the likes of Josh Potting's had plenty of the footy. And up forward, Taron Thomas started the game exciting, kicked a couple. And, look, their backline's doing the job, you know. Young Ben Simpson we called there towards the end. Ryan Mansell, I think I mentioned to you yesterday, Dave, when we were going through the game. He is a competitive beast. If you can be a beast when you're only 17 years of age, and you know, he's not big, but he just won't get beat in any one-on-one contests, Ryan Mansell, and he's doing the same again today.
I think we noticed in that middle part of that quarter that Clarence, right in this game, their midfield started to get on top. You know, Brady Jones and Matty Ling and these sort of guys were starting to get some supply, and Stannon's looking dangerous up there.
Yeah, he is looking dangerous. Look, the interesting one is Sam Siggins. He's just, look at him out there. He's massive, but he just doesn't have enough impact in the contests. And, there might have been an issue with an injury or something like that, but he's going to have to take the game apart and take competitive marks if he can. Alex Lee's not doing much around the ground. Looks like Siggins is going to start back in the ruck, but he's winning the hit-outs, Alex Lee, 12-6. So he's giving his on-ballers first use of the footy.
Adam Child's been down at the huddles at quarter time. I think he was with North Launceston. Warnie, what do you got for us?
Yeah, spent a bit of time with both teams. Started over with Clarence, and I think their biggest concern was the amount of turnovers that they were scored on, and that's where they need to slow the game down and basically not let them have those uncontested marks like they were. And at North, I guess they were pretty happy with where they are, and now that they will be going against the wind, they want their forwards to push down and spending a little bit more time further out in the middle there. There is quite a breeze that is heading towards the city end. So, definitely will be favouring Clarence this term.
Cheers, Warnie. We'll hear from you again during the second quarter. City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and via the live stream. It's a great first quarter here. As it's been North Launceston on top so far. 5-5-35. Clarence 2-2-14. Second quarter action, here's Matthew McGee.
Let's see what Clarence can bring to the game here in the second quarter. It's Siggins, the man I put it on at quarter time. He gets the first clearance, but it only goes as far as Foon. Foon comes out to Baker. He was good in the first quarter. Comes across to Couch. Playing a little bit more on ball to start with this quarter. He goes to kick it, but misses it. It's taken by Timmy Castle. Down the line, Jake Cox. He's going to take him on boundary side. Jake Cox. He looks inside 50. He's got Stanton there, but he can't get it there. In fact, it's a terrible kick, and it's cut off by Zach Burt. So Burt comes a little bit back inboard, gives it to Foon. Foon takes off, goes back down the centre corridor as North Lonnie like to do, but Stanton's going to put the pressure on. Louis Holman tries to take him out of the contest. Taken high, Clarence. The umpire says play on. Now he's going to ping him for holding the footy.
Oh,
he's unlucky there, Dave. I think it might have been Mastrocola. The ball's taken by Walsh, who goes long and deep. Looks for Bennett, goes over to Ponting. Ponting comes inboard. There's Bennett inside forward 50. Taken out of the contest. Taron Thomas on the deck. It's a good contest there. He's taken high. Is the Clarence defender. Have we got a name for that one?
Yeah, Zach Mastrocola's still down at the other end of the ground. I don't know why he didn't get a high tackle there because it looked tight to me.
High. I'm just trying to get the player who's coming up out of this one. Taron Thomas puts another one down in the binoculars there as I have a look.
It's Fisher.
So the former North Hobart player. Fisher.
Mastrocola's coming off, so we'll get Warnie to have a look at that. Looks like he's holding an arm maybe. Could be a shoulder injury.
Got one in the tackle. Fisher goes over to Bailey. Bailey comes down in front of the interchange boxes. Only as far as Foon. He's been pretty good as well, Foon. Ball comes inboard. Here's O'Brien. Clean at the feet. He goes out wide looking for Roberts. Roberts up against Avent. Roberts spins around. Gives it to Callanan. Oh, he's clever, Callanan. Gives it over to Bushner. Bush can go over the top by hands. And he does so. Coming in here is Blackburn. He tries for that little dribble reverse kick, dare I say it. And it's only a behind. So Clarence have had their chances. Inside 50s early on, 2-1.
Kick out from Connie Young is a good one. It finds young Simpson there at half-back. He's got Kalen Baker at left half-back flank. Gets to him on the bounce. He's got a bit of time. He darts away now. Callanan in pursuit. Good shepherd there from Lee. Oh, he takes a bounce. I don't know why. He's confronted, but he gets out of it somehow. Nice handball over the top to Ryan Mansell. Oh, he slips at the crucial moment. He's dived upon by Jones. Holding the ball, says Macca. But the umpire takes leniency and says, I'll have a ball up here on centre wing. Clarence trailing by 20 points.
Put the long stops on young Ryan.
Carlin Baker there. I don't know how he got out of that. He was confronted by 3 players and he somehow got out of it. Here comes Ponting. He's tackled to the ground there by Chambers. It'll be another ball up. We haven't seen too many ball ups in the first quarter. It's a very open game, exciting game, as you'd expect. 1 versus 2 here on the TSL ladder.
You compare this game, though, Dave, to something we watched, last week.
Yep.
5th versus 6th compared to 1 versus 2.
Yep, different in standard for sure.
Different in standard and intensity.
Lee down here towards Simpson. Grabbed by Pearce. Gets a quick kick out of congestion. Here's Couch. He leads for the race for the ball. He can't pick it up. Well done there by Douglas. Cox Goodger strong against Ling. Kicks it off the ground. Confronting the ball there was Holmes. Now with Cox Goodger. Scrubby kicker on the boundary line. He'll get it back again. Cox Goodger from the boundary line. Goes for goal of the year. Oh, it could be picked up here by Bennett. It is. He looks for a handball option. He's got one here in Donnelly. Can he get free? Tom Donnelly. He does. He's tackled as he kicks though, and it's affected the kick as it's gone off to the right. 1 behind for North Launceston. 5-6-36. Clarence 2-3-15. Playing at 3.5 minutes in the second quarter is Macca.
Clarence with a kick out from the Invermaid Park end. Goes short to Bailey. So Bailey, he's tucked away in the back pocket. Cox Goodger's on the mark. Bailey goes down the line towards the interchange box side of the ground. Alex Lee floats across. In fact, 3 North Lonnie players take it. Lee looked to be taken high. The umpire says play on. I agree. I think he might have put that one on a little bit. Ponting over the top. He's only going to go as far as O'Brien. And Jackson O'Brien takes the mark. Goes right across the other side of the ground. Looks for Jordan Roberts, who's going to have to take Connie Young on. He steps back inside. He beat him quite easily. Comes back in ball, but that's a terrible kick. It only goes as far as Tom Couch. So Tom Couch, the coach of Northern Bombers, looks forward. He's the excitement machine. Tarrant Thomas, he just strides around. Gives it over the top to Bennett. Bennett looks inboard over the top of Bailey. Can't quite get there, Bailey. The ball goes through and Tom Bennett kicks the goal. He had 3 set shots in the first quarter. Didn't look like kicking a goal. And gets that one on the run, Tom Bennett. And they let it go through in the goals. Jason Bailey couldn't get to it. And Tom Bennett kicks his second goal. And that's 6 goals, 6 North Launceston. And they skip away again. 4.5 goal lead over Clarence, 2-3-15. 5 minutes, second quarter. Dave Moore.
Just saw Zach Mastrocola along the boundary line. He still looks a bit ginger. We might get a report from Warning when we can. He's down there at the boundary line. It's the first goal, crucial goal in the start of the second quarter to the Bombers. And they lead now by 27 points. We'll get some around the ground updates in a minute from Macca as Ponting now off a step. Kicks inside 50. Chance here for the Bombers. Off hands. Player tackled to the ground. Double teamed there by Couch and a teammate.
14-12, 96 Lauderdale. Lead Burnie 5-3-33. And the Tigers 2-7-19 lead Devonport 2-2-14.
Out comes Cox Goodger. He's tackled. He breaks free. Gets a handball. But Holmes has taken high there. He should get a free kick at half back. It's James Holmes, impressive young player for the Kangaroos. Saw him play well at Windsor Park earlier in the year. Gets handball now to Siggins. Funny sort of left foot kick. Trying to hit to find Palmer Hughes. Intercepted by Baker. Baker has a bit of space. Up here towards Bennett. Out in front. Knocked away well. Simpson. Handballs over the tops towards his coach in Couch. He tackles Keegan Wiley. Now how's this one going to go? Ball up, says the umpire.
Jake Hines kicks a goal down at KG5 and Launceston 2-2-15 trail the Glenorchy Magpies 4 straight, 4 goal in second quarter.
Ball up, 25 metres out from North Launceston's goal. Siggins is in there. Simpson as well, plays for the free kick. So not coming out, umpire's going to hover and another ball up will result. We're only about 20 metres out from the Bombers' goal. They lead by 27 points. Top place up for grabs here at UTAS Stadium. Ball up, Siggins gets it. McCulloch tries to intercept. It looks like it's going to be another ball up here. Ball says the North Launceston players, but it's going to be another one.
Good tackle, Ponting. It's been prolific, Ponting. About 15 touches so far for Ponting.
Holmer and Siggins. Holmer in front. He goes after it, tries to kick it out of mid-air. Chance for Bennett if he can get free to Ponting. Fumbles, gets back on it. Ponting snaps round the corner, off to the right, way out to the right, out of bounds on the full. It's North Launceston 42, Clarence 15. Here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio and the TSL live stream.
Clarence up against it. 6 inside 50s to 2. Stats brought to you by David Gruber on the pen. Best in the business. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7. Jake Cox goes long and strong down the railway wing. Here's Callanan. He's on his bike. He looks inside to Wall, who moves forward when he's not in the ruck. He's got Bird on a string. Over the top, Clarence, they got inside 50. Brady Jones is calling for the footy. They fumble Clarence. In fact, they turn the ball over. It goes towards Callanan, though. Could have been a push in the back there, North Launceston to Goss. The umpire says play on. And here comes Taron Thomas out of the pack. Ball's not going far. It's going to be a ball up. Dave, I just missed that player there. It was Jared Harper. He made a meal out of it. And Harper, he could have just gone over the top, but he fumbled. Sorry, Dave.
I was going to say, what do you see Taron Thomas's role in this game
Well, he's
so
just
far?
rolled up at the moment just to be an extra there as they've all pressed up. But well, he's playing as that inside 50 forward, and he'll push up onto a wing, and he tends to play on that instinct, Taron. And even though he's only 17, he has a good contribution, tunnelling under there, and Alex Lee's going to get the free kick. So look, Thomas, he'll see that if he's not getting the ball up forward, he'll roll up the ground and get involved. Lee gives it off to Cox Goodger. Cox Goodger's got Couch up the line. Here he is, Couch, excellent mark.
How good
Could
was
nearly
the
be
kick,
50.
Macca?
Could nearly be 50. Was a ripper. He's got Simpson inboard, but he goes long and strong. Here's the big Bambi Bartholomew. Puts out the right juke. He can't get it. Over the top for Clarence is Douglas. Douglas, he's taken in the tackle, and the umpire says that's a free kick. Bart McCulloch, he strides in the big Bambi, and he goes snap with a banana, and there's a goal. Well, Dave Moore, Clarence are all at sea down there in that back pocket. I thought it was nearly over the boundary line.
Yeah,
the umpire says play on.
Douglas did well in the contest with McCulloch, and then he gathered the ball. He got caught by Bennett. The spillage went to McCulloch, and he's gotten the big banana from about 12 metres out.
And that's big Bartholomew. He's got his second on the board.
Well, 7-6, 48 North Launceston, Clarence 2-3, 15. And I've seen a few games in North Launceston this year, Mac, and it's early days. We're only, 10 minutes into this second quarter. This is the best I've seen North Launceston play this year.
They're playing very, very well.
Back in the middle. We'll get an AFL update from Macca in just a moment. Falls to the smaller of the centre circles. It's not going to come out in a hurry. Be another ball up. So that goal from McCulloch. Good forward line pressure there from Bennett. Gee, he's had a good game, Macca. He's had numerous shots at goal.
Plenty of marks
been
as
involved.
well. My word, plenty of those.
Lee this time to Walsh. He's under extreme pressure. He's tackled to the ground. Be another ball up. AFL.
Giants by 31, 8-7-55. The Giants lead the Melbourne 4 straight 24. And it's Essendon 5-5-35 lead Carlton 2-1-13 quarter time.
Comes towards Thomas. If he can pick it up. And he tries to extract it. In there also his hands low, but it spills to the side now. Be another ball up. So first time today we've had consecutive ball up situations. It's been a very open game so far. Group's inside 50s so far in the second quarter.
7 to North, 3 to Clarence.
Okay, so North have had the better of the second quarter as well. Into the breeze. Now it comes out. Kick off a step there from Harper. It's smothered. Chance though here for Standen. He's got the handball away now to Hanslow. Hanslow's 45 out. Kicks under pressure. Gets it to Siggins. Now he's taken the mark. There's a second grab inside the line. I think it is. Goal umpire says it's okay. So he's in between the left behind post and left goal posts for our listeners. Zach Burt's on the mark. He's going to snap around on the right. Umpire telling Connor Young just to come back a step. Here's Siggins. This one's needed by Clarence. And he's missed to the right-hand side. It did take a lot of time over that shot, and he's missed a crucial opportunity, as I said, for Clarence. Bit of push and shove now. Callanan, Burt, Siggins. It's a behind, though, to Clarence. 2-4-16. Trailing North Launceston 7-6-48. Kick-outs to Walsh. Walsh off half-back goes long here towards Holmer and Castle. Holmer gets one hit mitt to it, but he can't rein it in. Castle over the back does well. He takes possession. Handballs towards Douglas. Douglas's handball's intercepted by Donnelly. Donnelly in turn gets a scrubby old handball away. He gets it back again to Tom Donnelly. Dispossessed. Picking it up now is Palmer Hughes. Nice handball to Douglas. Further now towards, that's Harper. Harper around the corner, not a great kick. It's going to be a turnover. Pearce to Simpson. Back to Foon. Look away handball's not a great one to Big Lee. Under pressure. Here comes Callanan. Hits the contest hard. Out and out of Jones with a bit of pace. The former Tassie cricketer. Nice little chip kick. Might find a teammate here. Is that Wade Wall? He's tackled to the ground. It is.
He hits a Burt Wall.
He did indeed. Heavy tackle there on Wade Wall. It'll be a ball up
I just think Clarence
on the attacking 50.
Sorry, Dave. I just think Clarence's forward have got to lead up at the footy a little bit more. Jones wanted someone to kick to there, and Siggins was running back towards goal, but he was 80 metres away. Here's the ball taken through by Chambers. Chambers scrubs one forward. It goes over the back to Siggins. This is going to be a brilliant goal, but he misses near side as he snaps. Siggins one behind. So Clarence 2-5-17. They're struggling to get those scores on the board. North Launceston 7-6-48. 12.5 minutes gone. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. All via the online stream, courtesy of AFL Tasmania. The TSL bringing you all this action. Taron Thomas, he coughs the handball up there, only as far as Palmer Hughes. Palmer Hughes got to hit the target, and he does. And he finds Jared Harper. He's about 45 out from goal. He looks inboard, and he finds Gabe Chambers. So Gabe Chambers gets away from Ryan Mansell. 30 metres out, not much of an angle. Wind behind him, kicking towards the city end here. Well, Dave, they need this one.
They do indeed.
They certainly do. So Chambers, 30 metres out, deliberate approach, steps in, misses near side again. They're doing it in singles, Clarence, but it's not what they need.
4 binds this quarter, Macca.
2-6-18, trail by a even 30 points. North Launceston 7-6-48. Foon kicks to himself, plays on, goes railway wing side of the ground, looking for Pearce at the front. Can't take it. Ball comes over the back to Bennett. Bennett's now got Thomas. Here he goes, the big T train. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce. That one's a little bit awkward. He loses the ball. Oh, he comes back though. He's taken high.
Tackle.
He's got away with that one, Taron. He was taking 3 bounces and the third one just didn't come up to him. And it was taken though in a free kick, and he comes back inside to his schoolmate in Ryan Mansell. Mansell goes forward. He's got Couch about 70 metres away from goal, a little bit further. Comes in, he's got one over the top.
Oh.
I think that's Jake Pearce, Dave. He's just snuck in there towards the grandstand side, and it is.
How's a kick from Tom Couch?
How is the kick? And that's what they're doing better today, isn't it? We heard from Warney at quarter time that Clarence didn't want to turn the footy over. They continue to do so, and North Launceston are making them pay. So Jake Pearce, he's 45 out when he's going to kick it, a couple of metres in from the boundary, over in front of the railway hill. He comes in. It's not a great kick. In fact, it's a terrible kick. And the mark's taken by Keegan Wiley. I reckon that wind's just having a little bit to do down there. We can't fill it up here in the beautiful box.
Wiley kicks towards defensive 50. Chance now for Clarence to clear. Player caught with the ball. Releases it now.
Free kick.
Too late though.
It's going to go back to North. Tom Couch.
Tommy Couch.
I think he paid holding the footy or throwing the ball or something.
Couch now. He's too far out to score. He looks for a target inside 50. Holmer. Over the back. Chance. Think that might be Donnelly taking the ball. He's tackled. Not high, says the umpire, or is it? Yes, it is. I think that's young Mitch Donnelly down there. Yes, it is.
Donnelly.
Made his debut against Devonport a few weeks back at Invermay Park, just a stone's throw from where we are here. And young Mitch Donnelly, it's a tough shot though. It's a little bit closer to Jake Pearce's shot a moment ago. But into the teeth of this breeze, which is a real nor'wester today. Blowing slightly to the town end, but also across the ground. So he's kicking right into the teeth of it. Here's Mitch Donnelly. Close to the man on the mark. Gets good contact. Does Mitch Donnelly.
Kicked it.
He's put it through. That's a crucial goal for the Bombers. As Clarence just started to get a bit of the ball, and the Bombers have gone inside 50. And a high tackle there on Mitch Donnelly. And that's their 8th goal. 8-6-54. Clarence 2-6-18.
Well, I'm really disappointed in the Clarence Roos, Dave. I thought they were a real chance today. And they're just not bringing their A game. 2 goals halfway through the second quarter. Isn't going to win you too many top 2 battles in the TSL.
Yeah, certainly. I'm quite surprised by this. I thought it was going to be a tight, close contest.
They just got.
Look, I'm hedging my bets because I've seen a few games here this year pivot.
We won't
at
call
certain
it over
times, so
yet.
I'm not calling it over yet.
Bart McCulloch, he goes down. He gets his own footy from the ruck. Only goes as far as Siggins, though. Half back. Clarence looking up forward here to Buchner. Buchner takes it, plays on as he does. Goes right, goes left. Comes back inboard. He's got Stannon in the pocket. Speedy takes the mark on his chest. So Speedy Donnelly at one end. Speedy Stannon at the other. He takes the ball tucked away in the right forward pocket. We saw him kick the check side up the other end. He looks to be shaping to kick this one on the left. He's going to come in. He'll come as close to the man on the mark as he can, Dave, and he'll just snap it over the shoulder. He's made a career out of this Stannon after he come across from Sorrell. In fact, he goes the banana. He hits the post and it goes through for a behind. I've talked him up and he's let me down, as they tend to do. 2-7.
5 behinds this quarter. Kick out now from Foon. He goes to himself. He's going to go long into the teeth of the breeze. And he finds a teammate there in Pearce, though it spills to the back to McCulloch. Handball off to Walsh. Walsh now has a player out by himself here. Couch, he can take possession. He's about 40 out. He goes sideways. Couch, he'll go himself. He goes the dribble kick to Tom Couch. That's a fantastic goal. Great ball movement. Coast to coast Northern Bombers, culminating in a goal to Couch. And that's their 9th goal, 9-6-60. Clarence 2-7-19. Fantastic movement of the ball. And we've got a player injured. I think it might be Tarrant.
Well, Tarrant ran about 40 metres to help Tom Couch into shepherd. He put the arm out to try and shepherd Tom Couch, and he did so really well. But he's just come up a little bit sore in the right shoulder. Could be a little stinger on the arm. But what a goal. Coast to coast. You called it well, Dave.
Well, it's just that over-the-back kick you see often these days and that quick transition.
They're just killing it in the air too, the Bombers, with the McCulloughs and the Lees and the Bennetts and the Holmans. They're just so strong. McCullough, he's gone into the ruck. He only taps at the same move as last time. He taps it as far as Siggins, his opposition. That goes out to Buchner. It is a replay of the last centre clearance. Over the top to Jones. Jones, he goes forward looking for Roberts. The ball comes back with the breeze. It's another behind Dave. Looks like your cricket scorebook back in the Glendew days when you just worked the singles around. Wasn't too many 4s or 6s,
there
Dave.
Wasn't. No 6s. Inside 50s is quarter groups.
Inside 50s, 9 to North Launceston, 8 to Clarence.
Good to see Tarrant Thomas. He's back up and in the action. Gives it over to Pearce. Pearce to Walsh. Over the top. This is Bennett on half-back. The first gamer comes in board to Speedy Donnelly. There's one over the back. Bennett, if they can get it to him. But it's well repelled by Clarence. Over on the railway wing of the ground. The ball's there with Timmy Castle. It's taken by Walsh. Here's the Bennett we were talking about. The ball holds up in the breeze. Brady Jones is there. He's got Ponting on the deck. The ball's taken over the line now. And the umpire says he's going to throw it in. Just the ease of movement of North Launceston Bombers. They lead by 40 points. About 20 minutes gone in this second quarter. And I think you're right, Dave. I think this is nearly the best they've played, the most polished. And they've still got a few players to come back into the Bombers. So it's ominous signs with only a few rounds left in the TSL season for 2017. And this ball goes only as far as Ian Callanan, right back pocket.
They've pushed Callanan back at the moment. Just to stem the tide a bit, he goes short. And he finds a teammate there at half back. And that's Timmy Castle. Castle now sums up his options, goes sideways to Brady Jones. Slow build up here. Cheerio to the Russell family who watch every week on the YouTube or on our coverage on the radio. So hope you're enjoying the action here. I know they're North supporters. They would be indeed as Palmer Hughes takes the mark. Get some other scores, Macca. We haven't had them for a while from the TSL.
Yeah, Glenorchy Magpies, they lead by 13 down at KG5. So Launceston 4-6-30, Glenorchy 7-1-43.
As Pearce has got the ball now over the top now to, I think that's Alex Lee. Kicks up towards half forward to Couch, 3 against 1. He's there. He meets Jones. It's out of the bounds.
Devonport hit the lead through a Mitch Thorpe goal. They're 23-19 up in a bit of a battle down at Devonport. Plenty of breeze. And it's Lauderdale by plenty at West Park.
Define plenty, Macca.
Plenty, Dave. What's that? 74 points.
74 points. Siggins takes it out of the ruck. Long kick up towards half forward. It's going to go over the boundary line now. There's calls for deliberate there.
And give it. Yes, had to.
Yeah, I think that was young Fletcher Bennett there. Number 83. Didn't make any attempt to keep it in. Now a chance for Clarence to go inside 50. It's with Palmer Hughes. He drops the ball, gets it back to his teammate who kicks inside 50 towards Blackburn. It's a poor kick. I think it's out of bounds on the full. It is.
Still the Giants by 6 goals in Canberra and the Dons by 21 at the G.
Bart McCulloch over the top. He's got a man free here. That's Hayden Goss. Handball back to Event. Jack Event up the wing. He's got Pearce over the back who takes the mark. Gee, their kicking skills been fantastic today, North Launceston. Over to Fletcher Bennett. Moving well. Kicks up here towards Holmer. It drifts away with a breeze. He meets it on the bounce. Is it going to be over the boundary? No, keeps in towards Bennett. Great work, Holmer. Back to Couch. Look away handball over the top. Here's a chance for North Launceston. And snap for goal. It's off to the right. One behind.
Casey Curtis, I think.
It was number 32.
The inclusion for the laid out of Tyron Mansell. And they haven't missed him today, Tyron. We're a bit worried about their back line, but gee, they've come to play the Bombers. Lots of things to talk about at half-time for Jeremy Webley.
And he's going to, warning the boundary line, is going to try and get a word with Jeremy Webley at half-time.
Well,
so
good luck.
See how he goes with that
It'll
one.
be a little bit steamy, I reckon. Comes down the line here to Standen. So Standen, they're trying to push up and just control the footy, Clarence. But the problem is with that, then now they've got no one forward. Standing back to Callanan. He drops a very simple mark, and that about sums up their day. The ball's not even out of bounds. Jackie Avent, good pressure. And over the line now is Caelan Baker. So Trent Standard, he started the day in the book, Dave. The first 2 minutes, not even 1 minute probably of the game, he went in the book. And his day hasn't got much better than that. He's kicked one of their 2 goals, Clarence. The ball's thrown in just forward of centre for North Launceston. Comes down to Baker. He's well tackled though by by Clarence. Glenorchy, of course, are taking on Launceston down the KG5. Louis Holmer over the top to Ponting. Inside out kick and finds that man, Tommy Bennett. That would have to be half a dozen or so marks, Tom Bennett.
He's nearly best on the ground for mine, Mac. He's been fantastic.
Terrific. He's had an excellent season, Tom Bennett. As you mentioned, Dave, he came back from that serious Achilles.
Yep.
You know, took him out for nearly 12 months. And he's playing that high half forward. His endurance is amazing. And Tom Bennett, he's going to snap it over the corner from the left forward pocket. It looks pretty good. I think he likes that big TB, and he does. The umpire says that's a goal. That's North Launceston's 10th. 10-7-67. Lead Clarence 2-8-20.
Oh, look, it's just a dominant performance by the Bombers. They've kicked another 5 in this second quarter, and Clarence have just kicked the 6 behinds. They had a chance to really get back into the game early in this quarter, but a succession of missed scoring opportunities has meant
Tommy Bennett's
let it
third,
go.
Dave. Tommy Bennett's third
goal.
And marks inside 50 grooves, 5-2 for Clarence this quarter.
Yep.
So that's surprising. Stats don't lie, though, but on this occasion they might do, Groobs.
Margin 47 points here. Match of the day, match of the round, perhaps match of the season. 1 versus 2 late in the year at UTAS Stadium. Siggins gets it down. Shark though by Cox Goodger to Lee. The big fella kicks quickly around the corner. Up here, Curtis can't quite take it. He's back onto it with Holmer. They fight for the ball on the ground. Comes out the back towards Thomas. And no clear possession to any players here. Umpire's hovering. And eventually calls a stop to it. And Taron Thomas, he's a bit battered and bruised out there. He's a bit ginger coming away from the contest again. Had a great game today. 2 goals in that first quarter. It's about 70 metres out from North Launceston's goal. Siggins against Lee. Working hard as Jake Cox, who's been relatively quiet today. He dummies the kick and then goes up the line. Looking for a teammate there in Wade Wall. Well done, Connor Young. That's a great mark in the contest. No, play on, says the umpire. He gets handball to Event. Event short to Donnelly. He had a big first term. Donnelly gets it to Ryan Mansell. Tries to go over the top. It's smothered. He gets it back again. He's caught holding the ball. And good work there. I think that's Douglas there. Now what's happened? There's something going on at half forward. As we just pan over to where the action's happening. There's a bit of a confrontation there. That might be Tom Couch on the bottom of that.
Just having a look, Dave.
It is. No, it's Mark Walsh, in fact. It's going to be a free kick to North Launceston, Macca, just before you go on.
No, you're right. We'll have a look at this at half time.
At half forward. And it's going to Tom Couch, is it? And the umpire is doing some paperwork again, Macca.
Oh.
So there's something happened. Unfortunately, we were looking at the play at the time, which was back in the centre of the ground. Ryan Mansell was caught holding the ball, but something has happened here at half forward for North Launceston.
Well, Jake Cox is manning the mark.
And Tom Couch has the ball.
You would hope it's not Jake Cox who's been reported for Clarence's sake.
We won't make any comments because, as I said, we weren't looking at the situation. So all we know is that Tom Couch has got the ball at half forward. He's right on the front edge of the centre square. It's a packed forward 50 ahead of him. He signals. He goes back again. The umpire not quite ready. Now he calls time off. Couch is going to go long. Up here looking for Bennett. Falls short. That's at the front of the pack. Picked up by Cox Goodger. Couldn't get a kick away. Jazz now for Castle. Ball says the crowd. He gets rid of it. Lee round the corner. Lux a fortune to McCulloch. Wowee. That's a fortunate break there. Lee got the kick away. Now it's on again here at half forward. And Clarence maybe getting a little bit frustrated with what's going on, as there's about 10 players involved at half forward.
This takes you back to the old days, doesn't it?
Simon's got the camera right on it here. It does. It's passions are high at the moment. Clarence trailing by 47 points. But back on the play, McCulloch has kicked the goal. And that's his third for the day. 11-7-73. Clarence 2-8-20. It's still a little bit going on at half forward for the Bombers.
Well, North Launceston just say, have a look at that big thing over there with the numbers on it, boys. And Clarence haven't come to play. They can throw their weight around. They can get put in the book. They can scrap and whatever. But in the end, the facts are the facts. They've kicked 2 goals for the half.
Now, Siggins has got frustrated. He's
Yeah.
bowled someone over.
It's going to be a free kick
He's
to North
bowled over
Lonnie.
Jay Foon. It's going to be a free kick from the centre of the ground.
They've lost the plot, the ruse.
He's getting frustrated.
It's like one of Dave Gruber's biology classes on a Friday afternoon. They're a little bit rowdy, the ruse. Alex Lee's going to take the resulting free kick. He goes inside 50 with a bit of a mongrel, but it's going to come forward to Mitchie Donnelly. Mitchie Donnelly over the top. Bailey set upon by North Lonnie. They look for a free kick on the siren. The umpire's not going to pay. It's going to explode here, Dave. It's going to explode. Bailey didn't like the treatment. He was tackled in an excellent tackle by McCulloch. North Lonnie would be best just to turn their backs and walk off the ground because they are 11-7-73. They lead Clarence 2-8-20. And what a quarter. The goal kickers, Tom Bennett with 3, McCulloch with 3. They combined for 4 in the second. Bradley Cox, Taron Thomas has 2 early. Mitch Donnelly 1, Tom Couch 1, Bradley Cox Goodger 1. And for Clarence, it's just the 2 singles. What did they kick for the quarter, Dave? They
6 behinds.
6 behinds for the quarter. And their goal kickers are Trent Standen and Zach Bushner.
And we might get to the boys with the stats in just a moment. But we might take a break here from City Park Radio. Just repeating the halftime score, 11-7-73, Clarence 2-8-20. We'll be back in just a moment. It's 11-7-73, North Launceston, Clarence 2-8-20.
Adam Warney, Child's down on the boundary. Now, Warney, I looked down there just as the players were going off the ground. You look to be in the centre of a little tussle down there. What's going on?
Yeah, there's a bit going on. I tried to have a bit of a chat to Jeremy Webley. He had a little bit of a laugh and said, no, not now. But walked past there and there was, I don't know if we need to call this alleged or whatever, but I did see a little bit of a elbow from a trainer to a North Launceston bloke that isn't playing today. So
Yes.
Without saying too much more than that, I think that was pretty ordinary, actually. So, yeah, and then it did a little bit of a scuffle was happening in the dugouts.
Warney,
So it's very, very interesting. There's a fair bit of feeling for everyone down here, actually. So the blokes having a beer behind the benches, and there's a fair bit of chirp going on through that quarter too. So yeah, very, very interesting scenes.
Warney, we'll let you get to the rooms if you can get in there, especially the Clarence ones, and we'll talk to you at the end of half time.
We'll see how we go.
Cheers, Warney. So it's Adam Warney Child there, and he's been down on the side of the lines there, and it's quite a passionate end of that quarter, as we said. We've got the stats now from Dave Gruber. Grubes, far away.
Just quickly, just to half time, hit outs North Launceston 24 for the half, Clarence 15, 12-9 that quarter, North Launceston's favour. Clearances pretty even for the game, up to half time, 15 to North, 14 to Clarence. Inside 50s, 14 that quarter to North, 9 to Clarence, so North Launceston have 29 for the half, 19 for Clarence. Marks inside 50, 9 to the half for North Launceston, 8 for Clarence. And free kicks 15 to 7 North Launceston's favour up to the half.
Yeah, so North doing well on a lot of those stats groups, especially those marks inside 50. And Craig Boone is alongside groups there and has been doing some of the individual stats. What do you got for us there, Booney?
Yeah, so the object day, Dave's keeping an eye on some of the prime movers from each side, and I think the stats probably tell the story to this stage. So leading for North Launceston, we'll run through there. Possession winners first. Ponting has 17 possessions, very consistent, 9 in the first quarter, 8 in the second. And then Mark Walsh has 11 and Tom Couch has 11. Walsh with 6 in that quarter, Couch with 7. And then Taron Thomas with a handy 9 possessions so far, and Cox Goodyear with 8. So some of their major players obviously getting amongst the stats. Clarence obviously went a bit quieter that quarter with some of their major players. The standout that quarter was Siggins, who picked up 7 for the quarter. He's had 8 for the match, so quiet first quarter, much better second quarter. But some of the other players tended to drop out of the game there. We've got O'Brien on 10, but he had 8 at quarter time. We've got Callanan and Jones on 7, but both only picked up 3 for that quarter. And Standen and Cox both on 5, and Standen picked up 3 for that quarter, and Cox 2. So they're major players. They're obviously a bit down in numbers compared to the North Launceston players.
So those major on ballers have done well there for North, Bernie.
That's correct, and I think that's been the big difference so far, Dave.
Okay, in a moment we'll have a chat to Robbie Sanders, who's been elevated to legend status here at North Launceston Footy Club. But we're going to first of all, in a moment, have a chat to Cam Brown, who's Cam Brown's down at KG5. And Cam, welcome back to City Park Radio. What's the current score between Glenorchy and Launceston?
Yeah, half time, Dave, and a terrific quarter from Launceston sees them with a 5-point lead. It's Launceston 7-6-48, just ahead of Glenorchy 7-1-43.
Wow, what brought about that turnaround?
Look, they really got their hands on the footy, Dave, and they just used the ball so much better than they did in the first quarter, which was highlighted by a lot of turnovers. But they certainly got their game back in the second quarter, and lots of players bobbed up for them with goals, and some of their smarter players started to get their hands on the footy, including Jake Smith and Jay Blackerbury, who was really prominent. And so too Jake Hines, who's had a really strong game and has hurt Glenorchy with his ability to get on that left foot and do some damage with some long penetrating kicks. So a disappointing quarter for Glenorchy. They did get a couple of goals late, which stemmed a run of 4 goals in a row for Launceston. But a really evenly matched game at half-time at the moment, Dave. So looking forward to a big second half.
Of course, the stakes are high, Brownie, because Launceston need to win this to cement a place in the 5. But there's not beyond the realms of possibility they could finish 4th if they knocked off Glenorchy today.
No, and look, I was a bit worried about them at quarter time, Dave, but they certainly, I'm not sure what Sam Lonergan said to them at quarter time, but they certainly responded. And Sam himself has spent surprisingly a fair bit of time off the ground and also across half forward. Hasn't been in the middle much at all in this game, but they'd be really pleased, Dave, with their key backs. Simon Vanderbilt's doing a terrific job, and so too Jimmy Aganis, who's been really strong. So they'd be really pleased with how they're going. From a Glenorchy perspective, they just really couldn't get any ball forward. Such was the high press that Launceston had, and they were able to get repeat inside 50 entries. So not one dominant player for Launceston in the forward line as such. We've got 7 single goal kickers for them, Dave, and from Glenorchy perspective, the Bowden brothers both have 2 goals each. So really looking forward to the second half. Interesting enough, Dave, 11 goals out of the 14 in this match have been scored to the Elwick end, despite not a real strong breeze going anyway at the moment in this game.
Cheers, Brownie. We'll get back to you again at 3/4 time, and an interesting contest at KG5.
No worries. Thanks, Dave.
Mackie, you got some other scores?
Other scores around the ground, Dave. Early start down at West Park, so they're deep into the 4th quarter, and it's Lauderdale 17-17, 1-9. They're leading Burnie 6-5-41. Devonport Oval, it's a blustery day down there, and Devonport are 3-5-23, leading the Tigers 2-7-19, and that is at half-time.
Time to introduce our special guest here on City Park Radio at halftime, elevated to legend status this year with the North Launceston Footy Club. It's none other than Robbie Sanders. And Robbie, I don't want to take up too much time here because if I go through all your stats and things, we'll be here at the end of halftime. But look, you're a great player. Let's highlight your playing career there with North Launceston. You played 153 senior games between 67 and 75. You've represented the NTFA. You've coached the under-19s. You've coached the reserves. You're a Northonian. You're a committee member of the Northonians for so many years, 28 years. You've done so much for the North Launceston Football Club. Congratulations. Welcome to City Park Radio.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Look, reminiscing, I'm sure you've been doing a lot of that in the last few weeks, and you've had a luncheon today. What was it like playing for North Launceston and playing in the NTFA back in the late 60s and early 70s?
Oh, it was fabulous. It was probably more high profile than the Victorian football at the time. Local press was all over local football. My first year, I was sort of fortunate enough to play with iconic North players such as Bob Withers, Kevin McLean, Charlie Thompson, Bob Dargable, and so on. And you don't realise until you get a little bit older how fortunate you were to be able to be involved with those sort of people.
And you would have played against some legends at some of those other clubs like the City Souths and the Scottsdales as well.
Yes, we were only speaking a little while ago that in those days you primarily played the same position, hence you played on the same person from that club each time. And I played a lot on Bob Wilson from Scottsdale. I played on Barry Lawrence and Paul Viner from Longford. Their coach, Mike Smart, was a very good player from Western Australia. Derek Pearden obviously was a phenomenal player in his day with City South. Wilkie, he was getting a bit older at that time, but he was still a fantastic player. So, and we all get on very well today. So the swords have been dropped, and it's convivial now.
What brought you to North Launceston in the first place? How did you start your association with the club?
I started my association, it was district in those days. I'm an Invermay boy, born and bred.
Yep.
So our schools were, and our zones were allocated to certain clubs, and the northern districts were obviously North Launceston. I'd captained my school side, and we were fortunate enough to have North's full-back at the time, Bob Dargable, as our coach. So he brought me down to the thirds, so I'm a product of North Thirds. I captained the thirds in '66 and won the best and fairest, and got elevated to the seniors the following year.
Can you remember your senior debut?
I can, very much so. I played on the great Ray Foxy Levitt for Launceston. It was here at York Park, and the crowds were quite large then, and it was I remember thinking, am I good enough to play? That was my biggest fear. Am I cut out for this? Because you're going into the unknown. But you know, after a while you get used to it, and you find you can cope.
Robbie, this is not really my vintage, to be honest, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the modern day that I've sort of grown up with. As a father and, of course, a grandfather, your son Adam went through the North Launceston first and then through Launceston, both playing and coaching. How big a thrill do you get, watching, your son, first of all, go through that at a high level, and then you've now got your grandsons, one of which pulled on a state jumper a few weeks ago?
Yeah, well, that's a phenomenal feeling, to be quite honest. That's, to me, when I was fortunate enough, I stepped away from coaching just prior. Adam played his first year, and then I stepped away to sort of allow him to have his own career unimpeded. But I loved his career. I appreciated what Lonnie did for him, giving him the opportunity to coach. They were very good to him, even though I was still a North person. I was very grateful for how they treated him, and he's still treated down there. The years go so quickly. Two of my grandsons now are the state representatives, and hopefully they continue. I think a club like North, it's important that the same names reappear. It's just been that way forever and a day. And
we see a few today, don't we? Mansells and Curtis and those and the Pearces and
Ben Simpson.
Simpson, Marcus Simpson's boy.
It's a bit of a, I don't know if it's a North thing, but it's a club thing that sort of helps your culture remain good.
How do you see the modern day, and in particular the current TSL? North Launceston have obviously been very successful over the last 5 or 6 years, multiple premierships through Zane Littlejohn. But how do you see the whole bit at the moment?
Well, I must admit I love the modern game. I'm not an old fuddy-duddy that goes crook about the old days. I love the modern game. I would have loved to have been able to play in a team that you can really cover the whole ground, and you're sort of not allocated to a certain spot. I despair about the demise of the quality of the state league. I was fortunate enough to be involved when it was at its absolute peak in the late 80s, early 90s, when we were getting 16,000 to a grand final. And I really don't know where it's gone wrong. I don't like the setup, the way the D League is. I think we've been manipulated by clubs that haven't tried hard enough to field 3 teams, and I think they should have just been told to go if they can't fulfil that. And I think the body itself have got to get harder on clubs that can't fulfil their contract, basically.
Robbie, so because contrasting today, and just I'd like you to name up, is there a game in your career back in those 70s that sticks out in your mind? Is there a grand final or a game that you look back on as your favourite memory?
Yeah, 2. There were actually, one was a draw and one was a loss. The Scottsdale side of the 70s was a phenomenal side. They actually went to the end of year carnival in Adelaide and performed particularly well. Yeah. They beat us. We actually drew with them on the June long weekend here at York Park that year, and that was a phenomenal game. and then they beat us by 11 points in that grand final, and they were both not a winning feeling, so to speak, but phenomenal games. And I played in an NTFA side here in '71 when Baldock and all those iconic players were playing, and we were rank outsiders and beat them, and that was a good feeling.
Because for our younger listeners, the battles between the NTFA, the NWFU, and the TFL as they were then were big contests, weren't they?
They were, and we actually played. It was a triangular series, so you played them each once a year, and it was a privilege to be selected. There was always good coaches. I had Bob Withers, my club coach, coached me, and even when he went to Launceston, he coached me, and the great Bob Miller that coached City South, he coached me in those sides. So they were very good memories, and the friendships you make with a combined team remain for a long time as well.
And of course, you were there at the start of the Peter Daniel era of North Launceston, which is always talked about as being one of the most successful eras in the club.
Yeah.
What did Peter bring to North Launceston?
Well, prior to that, Tony Hayne, he was our coach from South Melbourne. He'd brought the Norm Smith regime from 72 to 74. So that changed there was process and fitness brought into it, sort of, which was a fairly basic football plan, really, just pre-season training. And a lot of young players that became mid-20s then really evolved, and then Peter, being a 100-game player with Essendon, brought obviously new ideas and drills. But there was a lot of players ripe to become very good players too by then.
Because a fellow inductee was Ricky Young, from the Young family.
Yes, yeah, he was a great player.
Did you play with Trunker?
Only briefly, just virtually the first year. But I've had a lot to do with Rick in the ensuing years. I've seen most of his career, and both of us are now heavily involved with the Northonians, which are the past players, and we enjoyed that time.
And just thinking back to those days too, there would have been some trips to Scottsdale, I'm sure, where the old Scottsdale mud was always a legendary tale, wasn't it?
It was, and it was only a couple of years ago, actually. I was at a reunion and I was talking to Danny Hall about it.
Yeah.
And I went crook saying my parents weren't happy. You have to throw your shorts away before you came home. And he said yes, and we'd go to the rubbish bin and collect them all and get them laundered.
Oh, fantastic. Look, Robbie, thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio. We've got the players back on the ground and the umpires as well. What do you think of North's performance today? It's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Yes, the last few years they've been able to slot in a phenomenal amount of first gamers this year, and they just slot in seamlessly. And I think that's the measure of a good side. And Couchy's doing a very good job. He's very fit. He's a ball magnet, and he's sort of really followed it on from where Zane left off.
Fantastic. How was the luncheon today? Good celebration?
Fantastic. There were some wonderful people there that go way back with me, even to my school days, and we've had a ball, and hopefully we continue on.
So we better let you go, and you can catch back up. You might have a few lined up, I reckon.
Yes,
he was under strict instructions today to limit the.
Well, he's done a good job.
Intake, so he's done well. So, Robbie, thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio, and congratulations on a great career as a player, administrator, coach, etc. for the North Launceston Footy Club.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Thanks, Matt.
Well done. No worries. Thank you.
That's Robbie Sanders here on City Park Radio, and he'll now go back to his luncheon. In a moment, we'll have Warney down on the boundary. Just repeating the half-time score here. It's North Launceston 11-7-73, Clarence 2-8-20.
Just reflecting there, Dave. Like you guys talk about those names of those eras, and we talk about the vintage of myself. I grew up sort of in those 90s where there was still some great state league. It's going to be a bit of a pity, I think, that the modern child now, your teenagers, they're not going to have that to talk about, I don't think, in 20, 30 years' time.
Yeah, look, it's a pity too. There's not a lot of footage left from those days. I mean, I search around on YouTube sometimes to look at...
I watched a couple of... right, those days, definitely.
Because every Sunday morning you'd have replays of NTFA and NWFU, and I think a lot of those tapes are just not existing anymore, and you lose a lot of that footage that was from those days, which is a bit of a pity. Thanks to Robbie there for joining us, and we'll have Warney in just a moment. In fact, it looks like Warney's with us right now from down the boundary line. Warney, did you get into the Clarence rooms?
It went into the Clarence rooms, they were pretty quiet, very sedate in there, doing their thing, walking around. But not much was said at all in the Clarence rooms. It's fair. I'm just out here in front of the benches now, and the Clarence support personnel are copying a few words from the blokes with an amber beverage in their hands at the moment. But North are looking good. I think they're ready just to be a professional unit and do all the disciplined things that they need to do to get a big win here.
Now, as you look down here from level 4, Warnie, the conditions look okay. Is the breeze still up?
Not too bad. The breeze is still definitely up, and the sun is out at the moment, which is nice. But it's not a beautiful day in the sense that I'm a little bit chilly down here at the moment. So if you want to send some gloves and a beanie and a scarf down, that'd be all right. But perfect afternoon now. Still plenty of goals should be kicked towards the city end, I think.
Cheers, Warnie. We'll let you check those fantasy scores.
Yeah, I need to barrack my players in my elimination final that I've got going on at the moment.
That's Adam Child there down on the boundary for City Park Radio. Macca.
I'm going to throw one up to you, Dave. If Clarence lose today and lose quite well, like they are at the moment, Lauderdale look as though they're going to have a massive win. Lauderdale are a sneaky chance to finish top 2.
Yep.
Lauderdale play Clarence in a couple of weeks' time. And if they could get up in that game, they could finish second on the ladder.
Well, we thought the 5 was set, but there might be other ideas depending on today's results. We're back underway here at UTAS Stadium. Here's Matthew McGee.
The third quarter's underway, so there's something to keep our eye on because Darren Winter would be excited if they could finish top 2. Clarence, they need to show something in this second half to reduce that margin and keep their percentage intact, which is pretty good. The ball scrubs forward. Louis Holmer goes to Ponting. He's had a great first half. He kicks it inside 50. Thomas is there. They're both holding each other's opponents out. No one actually goes for the ball in the forward line. It was nearly a throw out to Michael Fisher. I think they've actually paid it, Dave.
Yep.
And it looked a throw from here, and it's going to be a free kick to Tom Bennett. Another outstanding first half from Tommy Bennett. He's already kicked 3. Not to forget, he actually had 3 other shots from goal right on the 45 here behind us and did not register. So he's been up and about today, Tommy Bennett. Before today, kicked 18, plus today's 21. So there's half a dozen players for Northern Bombers that are out over 20 goals. Bennett, he gets North Lonnie away to a tremendous start from the resulting free kick against Fisher. And Tom Bennett has a little bag of 4 goals.
Well, that's what Clarence didn't need, Macca. A forlorn chance to get back in the game perhaps anyway, but they certainly didn't need to concede that first goal of the second half.
It was definitely a throw. We were a long way away, but I could tell from here. And North Lonnie, 12-7-79. They're 59 points in front of the Clarence Roos, who just have left themselves back at Blunston Arena. They haven't travelled the highway well, Dave. They're 2-8-20.
Final score at West Park. We'll get to that in a minute as we're back underway. Lee down towards Walsh. He can't take possession. Player tackled to a standstill there. And the final score there at West Park, Lauderdale 18-18, 126. Burnie 7-6-48. So a big win there.
Yeah, good percentage booster. They have Hobart City and Clarence to come, Lauderdale.
Brady Jones gets a kick away. It's not going to go the required distance. Castle gets a handball to nobody in particular, taken by Ponting. He handballs backwards. Can't find a teammate there in Foon. Cox gets it, but only as far there as Cox Goodger. He's tackled. Play on now. Kick inside 50 by Castle. Looking up here and finding Buchner. Can't quite take the mark. Well done to the North defence. Handball here looking for Foon. He wheels around, gets a kick on the right foot. A good one too. He finds Ponting, defensive side of centre wing. Quick hand pass to Cox Goodger. Oh, he breaks a tackle, but he drops the ball. Good pressure there from Ling, but he does get it away now to Donnelly. Donnelly's had a great game here at UTAS Stadium. Gets a kick now towards Walsh. Walsh will kick inside 50. Holmer's here, so is Bennett. Holmer over the back, big Louis. He's taken the mark. He's a bit of a cult figure here at North Launceston. Now that beard has been trimmed, I'm sure.
I love him.
Since we've seen him last, and maybe a bit of a haircut. He looks a little bit different, the boy from Geelong.
Look at him. He just struts around and he's just so laconic, but geez, he works hard.
They have moved the ball well today, haven't they, Macca?
It's been brilliant. It has been brilliant. To all those people I tipped Clarence to earlier in the week, I apologise.
Holmer now, about 30 out, right of centre. Comes in and converts for North Launceston. That's their second goal of the second half. They move on to 13-7-85. Clarence 2-8-20. And, once again, through the middle of the ground, Tom Donnelly impressed me, Mac. I know he played a lot in defence in the Mariners this year, but he's playing an interesting role, almost on a winger today, isn't he?
Yeah, look, he played that role, you might remember, in the second half against Devonport over at Invermay Park. He'd actually played as a key defensive role in the Mariners and then came back into that role and struggled. He actually got dropped and came back in and played that wing. And he's a real strong player and just a just gives them real grunt, an excellent possession, and has a crack. The ball comes down. They're on their merry way, the Bombers. This one's come out by Simpson. It goes to that man, Donnelly. Look at the athleticism on him. Comes back to Simpson. Back to Donnelly through Mansell. This is the future of the Bombers, playing in a premiership favourite side. There's another one in Bennett. He can't tackle Wall, who kicks the ball forward. It goes forward to Clarence inside 50. Here's Standen. He's got 20 metres in front. He can give it over. If it sits, it doesn't sit. What a tackle, Jay Foon. There's Baker. He's struggling to get away from the tackle. Ball comes out. Finds the Clarence player there, Dave. Is it
Jordan Roberts? Yep.
Jordan Roberts snaps it, and there's Clarence's third goal. Exactly what they needed. It wasn't pretty. There's no marks inside 50 for them. It's just struggle, struggle, struggle. And Jordan Roberts, who's sort of bobbed up a little bit today, he gets the first goal for Clarence since the first quarter, Dave.
That's right. They've kicked one goal in this third quarter, 3-8-26, trailing North Launceston 13-7-85. Good work there from Callanan from the middle. Got it inside 50 as it's back in the middle again. Lee tries to find Cox Goodger. Bounce evades him. Wall, kick off the ground. Harper might have got one high. He shrugs the tackle. Gets it back now to Jones. He sums up the kick. Kick inside 50. Chance here for Buchner, who has done pretty well for the Roos today. Good work by Connor Young. Here come the Roos. Callanan weaves around, gets away from a vent. On the right foot, centres the ball here, looking for Standen up against Baker and Lee. Falls to the front. Good work, Simpson. Baker, look away handball. Somehow finds Fletcher Bennett. Bennett goes short and does well and finds Tom Bennett.
Young Simpson, Dave, clean hands.
Yeah, I'm impressed with him. He's only 16, I think, Macca.
Yes.
Year 10.
I remember him playing for Scott Jokeburn against St Pat's earlier the year, and he causes a few troubles. He sits behind the footy and just extracts the ball from the stoppages and uses his hands beautifully.
Intelligent
I remember
player.
watching his old man Marcus play. He was a similar sort of player. Played back in those Steve Golding era days, back at David Rees-Jones and all of those wonderful teams. Wasn't it great to have Robbie Sanders in to talk about those eras before that?
Great interview. Boundary throw in centre wing. Lee front position. Gets it towards Cox Goodger. Can't take possession. It's on the ground. Clarence player in there fighting hard. Cox Goodger again using that strength. Tries to break free. Not penalised. Ball up centre wing. It's Clarence trailing the Northern Bombers by 59 points early in the second quarter. Lee scoops it over. Holmes intercepts. He might have been pushed from the back by Pearce. Play on, says the umpire. He's stripped of it by Pearce, who tries to escape the pack. Can't do so. Umpire comes in again. Macca, AFL.
I wondered why Booney had a little smile on his face. His beloved Blues have got back to within 10 at half time. They trail the Essendon Bombers 5-8-38 to 4-4-28.
It's going to be another ball up.
And you've got a smile on your face, Dave, because your
Giants.
Giants have kicked away. They're 49 up on the Demons, who are just going through a real lull, aren't they, the mighty D's?
Hawks pursuing, of course, Mackie, your Hawks tomorrow against the Tigers.
Oh, let's go, the Hawkers.
Cox Goodger using that strength again up towards Holmer. Good work there, Keegan Wiley. He's on the bottom. He's convulsing his body trying to break free as Louis Holmer lays on top. That's a ball up.
Just a few behinds down at KG5. Glenorchy 7-2-44 trail Launceston 7-8-50. And Devonport have kicked the first 3 goals of the third down there. They're 6-5-41, leading the Tigers 2-7-19.
Palmer Hughes in there, lose possession. Good work, Fletcher Bennett. Gets it through the traffic to Event. He's going to be tackled. Throwing the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Launch for goal by Roberts. He had a lot of time there. He misses to the left. One behind. Clarence 3-9-27. North Launceston 13-7-85. That'll be a huge result if the Blues get up at KG5, Macca.
It will be. And look, they were rank outsiders today, and I couldn't believe it because we saw them against Glenorchy, didn't we? What a kick in that is there by North Launceston down the middle 80 metres to Mark Walsh. Mark Walsh now brings it out wide. Here's Ryan Mansell. Love the way he plays over to Couch. Couch, he goes back. He could go back to Mansell. Got his opponent on the string, and he comes back inboard left foot. Looking for Cox Goodger. Taken by Walsh. Geez, they're clean today, the Bombers. Goes to Mansell. Mansell looks for that... That's a Joel Selwood special from Geelong. That is a Joel Selwood special.
Just experience from Couch, too.
Tom Couch, he went to his knees. Callanan's laughing because he said, you have conned the umpire an absolute treat. Standen's filthy behind the plate. Ball goes in, forward pocket, out of bounds. I'm trying to find out who kicked that ball in for North Launceston. Was it Connie Young? I think it was a Connie Young kick in. Magnificent kick.
It's the best example of foot skills today I've seen the TSL all year. It's fantastic.
Right forward pocket, North Launceston's end of the ground. McCulloch down only as far as Clarence in Hanslow. He scrubs the kick forward. We've said that a lot today to Clarence. They just haven't been able to get anything going. Here's Simpson on the right boot. Looks down for Bennett. He's a couple of metres in front, but the ball goes out of bounds, right forward pocket. You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5. Via the online stream, the TSL. It's North Launceston all the way here today. They're 13.785, leading Clarence 3.927. 9-minute mark of the third quarter. It was meant to be 1v2. Doesn't look like that at this stage. North Launceston have been brilliant. McCulloch, he battles against Siggins. Siggins just doesn't do enough for mine. The ball comes in. Here's Couch. Right foot, check side dribble. 14th goal, North Launceston. Tom Couch as easy as you like. It was like, just come through, Mr. Couch. You can kick another goal. And North Launceston go bang. And that is Tom Couch's second for the day. They just around that stoppage, Clarence were just insipid. Absolutely insipid.
I just watched Tom Couch there. I can't wait to watch the replay on the YouTube there, because he just hovered there, and it was almost as if he always knew the ball was coming to him. And
but they let him through.
Yep.
And maybe he was the only one smart enough to, as you said, know the ball was there. But they're just so clean at the bootlaces, North Launceston today.
14.791. North Clarence 3.927 from the middle. Thomas plays a tackle there on an opponent. It's going to be a ball up. That opponent there was Tyson Hanslow. We saw him took a great mark this year, earlier on, and it's at Windsor Park. Mark of the week, if I remember, as Wall now gets it to the front of the pack there, and Jones off the ground to advantage. Player tackled there in Blackburn. Spills clear. And it's going to be a ball up. The attacking side of the centre circle.
I keep going back to that percentage. That percentage, Lauderdale will be loving this at the moment. They've already got their win on the board. They'll nearly be on the bus on the way back down the highway.
Of course, to come back into this side for North Launceston are Whitford and Lockhart.
Tyron Mansell.
Kick inside 50 now for Clarence. Bushnar takes the mark. Puts the one Duke out. Couple of grabs at it. Reels it in. And he'll line up for a goal from slightly left of centre. And he'll be about 12 metres out when he delivers. He wastes no time. Zach Bushnar kicks the goal for Clarence. That's their fourth, 4.933. Trailing North Launceston 14.791. 2 goals to Zach Bushnar. A player, Mackie, you've kept your eye on over the last few years.
Oh, look, we have kept our eye on him, Dave. He's got, as I said, he's got that body, and that's the sort of thing he can do. The problem is with him, his work rate and just doesn't find the footy enough. He played some terrific games, as I said earlier on the year in the TAC Cup program. Got a couple of Allies games as well, but just couldn't quite take that next step. And as a 19-year-old, you have to, and couldn't quite do it. So that's Clarence's fourth. The ball's thrown up back in the middle of the ground. And Brady Jones tackles the North Launceston player. It's a little bit messy in there, and there's going to be another ball up. 12 minutes gone. Groobs, what are we looking at for the stats? Any improvement, Clarence? In fact, they're 5-4 up inside 50s. A little bit more competitive in the ruck as well through Wade Wall. He's had a good start to the quarter, just bullocking his way forward. Clarence are in front of the clearances, 6-4. And they're back in the game, but not on the scoreboard. As there's a secondary ball up in the middle of the ground. Coming out the back of the pack, Clarence get to go forward again. It's only going to go as far as Jackie Avent. He's there. He's a solid player, but he gives it to Stan intercepts the ball, gives it over the top to Harper, and Harper kicks Clarence's 5th goal. Maybe this is the little swing and roundabout as you've been talking about, Dave. You've been waiting for it. It is a long way back. They've got a quarter and a half to at least get some respectability back. And Jared Harper kicks the goal.
Yes, and it's Clarence's 5th, 5.939, trailing North Launceston 14.791. Already had a team win today in the TSL, and that was Lauderdale. They thrashed the Burnie Dockers up at West Park. It's close between Launceston and Glenorchy and the Tigers and Devonport. So we'll keep an update from Macca in just a moment. As Lee gets it down, here's Couch working hard. Handball forward to the play, looking for Donnelly. Mitch Donnelly, that is. He picks it up. Tackle to the ground. It'll be another ball up. Just the attacking side of the centre for North Launceston. You listen to City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. We'll have interviews after the game with the coach of the winning team. Is it coming out here towards Donnelly? It's Tom Donnelly. Over towards Simpson. Simpson now shovels the ball towards attacking 50. Quiet crowd here at UTAS Stadium. Stunned by this effort, I think, from North Launceston. Keegan Wiley does well. He gets
free kick
kicked to Palmer Hughes, who takes the mark on the far side. Palmer Hughes kicks up towards the railway wing. That's a good mark. Taken by Harper, who's had a pretty good game today for the Kangaroos. Kicked a goal a minute or so ago. Over the top now to Gabe Chambers. Now Gabe Chambers takes the mark. He runs his full measure. Kicks poorly inside 50. Now he might be downfield though.
Yeah.
He was pushed off the kick.
Tell you what, Dave, just having a look at Booney's stats. Jakes Cox, only 6 touches to this stage.
Wade Wall inside 50. It's a contest. A lot of North players there. Oh, poor handball from Donnelly. Now they're under pressure. They get out of it well. Ends up with Taron Thomas. Here's Donnelly. Mitch Donnelly kicks under pressure, but he does well. But only as far now as Callanan. It was pushed to the back. In fact, that's Mitch Donnelly there. He's taken that free kick. Got pushed out by Callanan. Kicks up the wing. It's a nice kick as well. Foot skills fantastic today from the Northern Bombers. Mark taken here by
Curtis.
Casey Curtis. Thanks, Macca. Over to Ponting. Back to Curtis. Under pressure now. Not a great exchange of handballs there. Cox Goodger does the buttering up. He tries to pick it up towards the boundary line. Out of bounds. 14-7-91 North Launceston. Clarence 5-9-39.
Yeah, just those youngsters from North London, just a little bit fumbly, trying to overpossess the ball a little bit. But you can't take anything away from them. As Robbie Sanders said at half-time, they're able to come into the lineup and play their role. Doesn't matter who's out of the side. They're all having an impact. The ball goes close to the boundary line from the boundary throw-in. It's going to be thrown in again right on centre wing here at the magnificent UTAS Stadium. The Hawks are here next Sunday, Dave, versus the Kangaroos. So the Battle of Tasmania.
And also
So,
the
3:20 Sunday game.
Hurricanes versus the Sydney Thunder, December 30.
December 30. You're excited about that one. Hopefully you're going to be covered on City Park Radio.
Yep.
Clarence go forward through Gabe Chambers, but he only goes as far as the boundary line. In fact, it's gone past the boundary line and it's out of bounds. Yes, Dave. So not only local sport, Dave, could be bringing national sport.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. More details to come. Negotiations underway.
Negotiations. Here's Jay Foon. Gets the kick from Connor Young. Foon straight down the middle. Simpson's there for North Lonnie. It's over the top. It's taken by Siggins. Over to Jones. Here's Palmer Hughes. He's battled manfully today. A little short chip kick and finds Buchner. So Buchner is about 80 metres from goal. He looks inboard and looks for Blackburn. Blackburn hasn't done a real lot today. Dave, he's kicked 27 goals for the game for the year, Blackburn. But I haven't seen a real lot of him today.
That's been the surprise for me, Mac, because I see how powerful Clarence's forward line have been in recent weeks. A couple of players out of the North back line, Aaron Richter-Solder, Tyron Mansell pre-game. I thought that might have been an area where Clarence would have gone on top. But credit, as you say, the soldiers that have gone in there and taken the place of Mansell and Richter-Solder have done a manful job. It's been fantastic.
Well, Zach Bird, he's second on the goal kicking behind Tom Counts for North Lonnie. He actually played centre-half back today and has taken Siggins to the cleaners when he's been down there. Ball goes out of bounds in front of the scoreboard again. It's North Launceston 14-7-91, lead Clarence 5-9-39. 17 minutes gone. The other games down the road, Dave, we'll try and get a few scores to you from KG5. Launceston were being very competitive. We'll get you a score as soon as we can.
Okay, here's Josh Ponting. Can't pick it up. Now, Wade Wall does. Handball laterally. Shark by Thomas. He's tackled out of bounds. Just a quiet period of play in this game. 19 goals so far today. 14 of them to North. Clarence to 5. We'll get an inside 50 update there from Dave Gruber.
Inside 50, Clarence ahead there, 8-5.
8-5. So they've had the majority of play this quarter. Just wait 1 second, Mac, as the ball's back in play. And Clarence are going inside 50. Here's a chance. Buchner gets the handball away to Palmer Hughes. Little chip kick round the corners. Not a bad one. Almost a one-header mark there to Harper. Mopped up now by the North defence. By Jack Event. Event up the wing. Here looking for Bennett. He's taken under the mark. He's taking lots of marks today all around the ground. Kicked 3 goals. He beckons players towards him. Goes to the centre. Lovely delivery, that one to Ponting. Off to the races now is Cox Goodger. Short here looking for Mitch Donnelly. Now he can go inside 50. He'll take a bounce. Mitch Donnelly, 30 out, directly in front. It's beautiful smother there by Keegan Wiley. Great effort by Wiley. He now goes sideways to Fisher. Donnelly just twirled a bit long on that kick. And should have delivered probably about 5 paces earlier. Fisher now with the ball. Goes short. Looking here for Standen. Good spy over the back by Walsh. Here's North again with Kalen Baker. He's confronted by 3. Still gets it away. He's going to kick it out of bounds in the full. I think it is. Yes, it is. Macca.
Launceston 57-56, so 1 point lead. It's a classic down there. So not much on the go. Geez, they've made a couple of mistakes there, North Launceston. They could have kicked another couple of goals. Young Donnelly, he had him on a rope and he couldn't get him through. Siggins, bit of a hopeful kick just down the line. It's Bailey, 1-2 bites of the cherry. Umpire says play on. Well tackled by Fletcher Bennett, the first gamer from Scotch Oakburn. He does well and lays a tackle on Jason Bailey. You mentioned Tom Bennett. You know, he's taken Jason Bailey to the cleaners today, and he's been a premier backman in the competition. It's a kick out of the stoppage by McCulloch. The ball comes to the North Launceston 50. And it's going to be balled up again. Zach Burt back on the ground and gone forward, Dave. They just had another little bit of attack to that forward line for them. They've loaded up. They're going to try and absolutely annihilate Clarence and send a message to the coming finals in a few weeks' time. They might have to meet again, you'd imagine, at some stage. Clarence get the ball out through Standen. Tarrant Thomas shoves his opponent in the back, and it's going to be a free kick going to James Holmes. So through the half-back line, Clarence, here's Jordan Roberts. He's a long way away from goal. Comes over the top to Timmy Castle. Goes left, goes right, comes back inboard and finds Jake Cox. Here's a special for Jake Cox on the left. Doesn't kick the ball well, though. Well taken by Roberts. Can't get it over the top to Gabe Chambers.
Well, Baker's in trouble here if he doesn't release it.
Ball's balled up 30 metres out, close to the Clarence goal.
Macca, the recruitment of Bart McCulloch has allowed Burt that versatility, hasn't he?
Oh, and Tom Bennett, and you know, it's just Alex Lee, and that they've just had great seasons, the lot of them, because they've just got so many options. Ball up 30 metres out. Here they come again. It's Tom Couch just bustling his way forward. He does play like Joel Selwood, doesn't he? Tom Couch spent a bit of time down at Geelong. Goes back to Couch to Pearce. Comes over the top to Donnelly. Here's Walsh. He's been really silky good today. Here's our favourite big Louis. 40 metres. Goes a long kick over Tom Bennett's head. And Tom Bennett was going to have another mark. He's been brilliant today, Bennett. He's had a terrific season. And what a game so far for North Lonnie. They lead 14-7-91. to Clarence 5-9-39.
I haven't seen Tom Couch play so much on the balls. I've seen him play today. He hasn't been up forward a lot. He has kicked a goal, but
he's been managing his workloads, hasn't he? He hasn't been totally fit, few injuries. Holmer palms the ball down beautifully to Cox Goodger. Back to Walsh. Well tackled Clarence. 40 metres out from goal. Another ball up.
Okay, the score is 14-7-91. North Launceston Clarence 5-9-39. Check on those Carlton Blues in a second there, Mac, if you can. See if they've wrested the lead away from the Bombers. Big clash there in Melbourne. Siggins, Holmer, shovels the ball forward. It's a contest about 35 metres out from North Launceston's goal. About 22 minutes into this quarter, probably about 5 minutes left. 3 goals apiece.
Carlton kicked the first to the third. It's the Dons by 1.
Ooh, 3 goals apiece in this third quarter. Now there's a free kick in the ruck contest, and we go to Sam Siggins.
Wouldn't it be great if the Blues could knock Essendon out of contention, boys?
Oh, if you're Hawks,
the old Carlton Essendon rivalry. Fraser Brown.
As Siggins now long kick up here towards the wing, towards Roberts. Can't take the mark. In fact, it's O'Brien there. Jackson O'Brien takes it. He's tackled to the ground by 2 North Launceston players. He's not penalised. The crowd in front of us are asking for a free kick. But the umpire's going to come and ball it up right on the railway wing, centre wing. Clarence trailing by 52 points.
The Giants by 40 in front of a full house at Canberra.
Yes. They love their footy up there, the Canberrans. As Thomas now gets a scrubby kick forward, gets good penetration with it. Well done there by Holmes. Gets a handball to Chambers. Chain of handballs now from Wiley back to Holmes. It's on centre wing. Good work there. Ball's taken out of the contest by Roberts. Kicks close to the boundary line. He finds Standen, who's a long way out from goal, about 80 metres. He sums up some options here. He's going to go close to the boundary line into the pocket and tries to find Callanan. Callanan's up against 3. He still gets the kick away into the hot spot. Tom Donnelly takes the mark for North Launceston. He plays on now. Donnelly goes shorty looking for Holmer. He's had a good game today. He's had plenty of friends in that regard. Kick short here looking for Event. Event breaks the tackle. He's got a play here in the middle of the ground, and taking the mark is Jake Pearce. Handball to McCulloch on the run. Bart McCulloch from 50 on the run. Yes! Great goal. Great movement of the ball again by the Bombers. 4 goals, Bart McCulloch.
That is a training drill, Dave Moore.
Like knife through butter there. The North Launceston came through the centre of the ground. And they've kicked their 15th goal. 15-7-97. Clarence 5-9-39.
Jeepers. They're Clarence. I was so looking forward to watching a competitive Clarence here today with all the players. Of course, Webley was an out. He's probably another week or so away. But they just haven't come to play. They were like witches' hats then, Dave, as North Lonnie just bust through the middle of the ground. And they're just up and about, the Bombers. And Clarence, they've got to protect a little bit of that percentage. Here's Simpson, one of the youngsters in the middle of the ground. Terrific clearance player. They find Tom Couch. He just waits for Baker to stroll on past. Baker from 40. That's another goal. There's 16 goals. North Launceston putting on an absolute clinic. And isn't it brilliant that it started with the youngster Simpson in the middle of the ground? Baker just strolled past Tom Couch and just went bang.
Well. Clarence had a good passage, a good period of play in the middle of this quarter.
Oh, geez,
scored a couple of goals,
kind.
but no, North are back on top now, and they lead by 64 points here at UTAS Stadium. 103.7 FM City Park Radio. Our new frequency 96.5. Call the station during the week. Please join up and be members, and we can do more of this sports broadcasting. It comes to Walsh. Macca, you got something?
No, you're right. You go.
They've still got that game at KG5, so we'll hear from Cam Brown at three-quarter time.
Devon Porter in front, 9-7-61 to the Tigers, 4-8-32. We gave the Tigers a sneaky chance, Dave. But
we did.
We're off the mark on that one.
It'd be great for Devon Porter to win their second game of the year. Out it comes from the middle of the ground towards Pearce. Handballs backwards to Hayden Goss. He's got a bit of time to sum things up. He goes inside 50. Cox Goodjar can't quite take the mark. Can he get on that left foot? He can't. He's got it back again from hands and knees. He tries to handball to a teammate there in Couch. But it's intercepted by the Clarence defence, working hard. And it'll be a ball up just inside the boundary line.
It's the Pies by 1 point now at KG5.
Now, we didn't think there was a breeze there, according to Cam, but if it is a scoring end, Launceston will have it in the last quarter. Or was that a push in the back? Play on, says the umpire. It's out of bounds. So next week, we've got a week off our coverage of the TSL. We're back the week after that. In fact, it was a free kick. I got it right the first time. It's going to go to Bart McCulloch.
Booney tells me Ponting with 25 touches.
Oh, that's a good game. It goes under the radar, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, but
he's very efficient.
Not anymore here. He's been the best player for North Lonnie for a lot of the season.
McCulloch gets under that one. It's going to fall at the top of the square. Jake Pearce in there, and it falls in the lap of Zach Burt. At the drop of the ball, stood his ground and found the ball in the breadbasket, and he'll line up 10 metres out on the corner of the goal square. And
another
should be
mark
another one.
inside 50. Yeah, another mark inside 50. Groups tells me inside 50s for the quarter or 11 all.
Zach
so
Burt.
Clarence have had enough of the footy.
Zach Burt for goal. Puts it through. 17 now on the board for North Launceston. 17-7-109. Clarence 5-9-39. Margin out to 70 points here at UTAS Stadium.
Well, we mentioned Zach Burt. He had 31 goals going into today's game. Started the first half at centre-half back. Just snuck his way forward. But defensively, Clarence are just a schmozzle. They've moved Siggins back there now, which means they've really got no high up forward. And yes, they've got a lot to think about going into the finals. They've got a bye next week, as a lot of the teams do. Then they travel to Lauderdale and Glenorchy to play the last couple of weeks. So it's going to be a tough run home leading into the finals. Lauderdale, of course, with a chance, Dave, now of finishing second on the ladder.
Yes, and as we said before, that KG5 result, if Launceston can get up, they've got a sneaky chance of finishing fourth.
North Launceston have a bye next week. They go on to play Burnie at UTAS Stadium, then Launceston at Windsor Park.
And we'll be at both of those on City Park Radio, Macca.
Oh, can't wait. Don't know whether I'll be there for both, Dave, but good luck for yourself. Cole Palmer Hughes goes over to Blackburn, over to O'Brien. O'Brien comes in looking for Taron Thomas. I'm just getting a little bit weary, Dave. I need a couple of weeks off before the finals. The finals are going to come to you on City Park Radio. O'Brien over the top. I have to look at the contract for the last two. I think I've reached my maximum game output for the season, Dave.
That's right. I have backups, Macca. You're right.
That's the way. Ball's going to be thrown in. I'm actually going to head down the highway in a couple of weeks, Dave, and watch a little bit of a game down there, probably at the Glenorchy Tigers. See how we go with that one. Three-quarter time. There it is. North Launceston 17-7-109. Lead Clarence 5-9-39. Now with my maths, Dave, that is an even 70 points. It was a 6-goal to
Straight.
3-quarter.
Yep.
6 goals straight. So when you're Clarence and you're already 9 goals down, you don't really want the opposition to come out and kick 6 goals straight, but that's exactly what they've done. It's going to take me a few minutes to get through the goal kickers here, Dave. Tom Bennett has 4, as does his partner in crime, Bart McCulloch. They've both kicked the same, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 each in the third. Goals in that quarter also to Burt and Caleb Baker and Louis Holmer. Taron Thomas has 2, Caleb Baker has 1, Mitch Donnelly, Zach Burt and Bradley Cox-Goodger. And for Clarence, it won't take me as long, 2 to Zach Buchner, 1 to Standen, 1 to Roberts and 1 to Harper.
City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, 3-quarter time. It's North Launceston 17-7, 109. Clarence 5-9-39. I thought we'd get to Cam Brown straight away at KG5 and to get a report on what's happening there between Glenorchy and Launceston. Cam, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good timing, Dave. 3-quarter time siren has just sounded, and it's Glenorchy 11-4-70 with a 7-point lead over Launceston 9-9-63. A 4-goal to 2 quarter in favour of the Magpies. Launceston had their chances too, Dave, particularly early in the quarter. They dominated, but they drew a couple of misses from Sam Lonergan and Jake Hines, and a couple of late steadying goals to the Magpies sees them with a narrow lead. But as we speak, Dave, the wind has picked up to the Elwick end, so you'd think there'd be a couple of goal advantage for Launceston in this last quarter. So they may well and truly get up in this game.
Fantastic effort by the Blues after that disappointing start. Just some of the major goal kickers, Cam.
Yeah, look, Launceston, they're all single goal kickers, Dave. So I'll run through those really quickly for you. Sonny Whiting, Jay Blackerbury, Jake Smith, Brody Pofferman, Hamish Leadham, Kelly Mansell, Connor Smith and Jake Nunn, all with 1 goal. And for Glenorchy, Brody Rowbottom has 2. Jay Bowden has 3. Tyler Bowden has 2 and 1 each to Harry Pearce, Braden Webb and James Webb.
And Cam, just quickly for our Launceston listeners, Jake Hines continued his good work in that quarter?
Yeah, he went out of it a little bit in that quarter, Dave, but still been really prominent. Other players, I guess, from a Lonnie's perspective, that have been really good for them. I've mentioned the key backs, and once again, they had some really good quarters in the two, in the Gayness and Vanderbilt, who have been really strong. Jake Nunn started to come into that quarter, and he's been pretty quiet, Polfram, but he had some really telling touches in the third quarter. Just something to note too, late in the second quarter too, Dave, Mitch Hills was reported for a strike on Jay Blackerbury, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
2 former teammates.
Yeah. Cam, thanks for that report. We better get back to here and the action, and you probably heard the score here that North Launceston leading by 70 points, and we'll get back to you in the last quarter.
No worries, thanks, Dave.
That's Cam Brown at KG5. We'll get to the boys now quickly for the stats before we go back for some messages. Groups, team stats, 3-quarter time.
In that quarter, lots of stoppages in that quarter. 20 hit-outs to North Launceston, 14 to Clarence. Clearances that quarter were even at 11 apiece, as were inside 50s, 11 apiece. But North Launceston up to the 3-quarter time going at about 67% forward 50 efficiency, as opposed to about 46 for Clarence. So making the most of their opportunities there. Marks inside 50 that quarter, 2 to North, 1 to Clarence. And free kicks, 5 that quarter, 8 to Clarence.
Well, that's pretty telling stats there, Gribs, and we'll hear for your at the end of the game for the full match stats. And Booney, you got some individual ones there as well.
Yeah, so
I'll turn your microphone on. Fire away.
The outstanding player again for that quarter for North Launceston was Ponting, with another 8 possessions, taking his total to 25 for the game. Good quarter also for Couch, who's moved to 17 possessions, and handy games also so far for the first 3 quarters to Walsh with 15 and Cox-Goodger with 13. Also, Taron Thomas has had 12, so they're all above, all into double figures for North Launceston. A little bit lighter on the Clarence side, so quite a good quarter again there for Jones, who's moved to 13 possessions. He's been quite good throughout. And then also in double figures, we have O'Brien with 11, but just the one for the quarter. Siggins, who's been quite good in the last 2 quarters, he's also moved to 11 and 3 in that quarter. And Callanan has 10 for the game with 3 in that quarter.
Telling there that the big playmakers, Macca for North, have dominated in getting 20-plus possessions there.
Oh, unbelievable, aren't they? They've been so clean in their run and their spread. Like, we've watched North Launceston a little bit, and a lot of teams do it when they're successful. They do have a flat period, and sometimes that flat period is because of their training load. Yep. So they might have had a really big training load, and they just sort of were playing flat. Yep. But look, they're just they've just been so clean, and they've just run Clarence off their legs, to be honest. They've been dominant in the air, they've been dominant on the ground, and Clarence just haven't been able to respond in any manner whatsoever.
City Park Radio 103.7 FM, 96.5. We might just go back to the studio for a couple of quick messages, and we're back in about a minute for Warnie's wrap from the huddles. We better get down to you. We're about to bounce the ball. What's happening down at ground level?
Yeah, just in with North Launceston, and they're very much talking up that they've only lost one final quarter for the year, so they're all about just finishing this off, doing the job that they need to. Obviously, they're going against the wind, which, and as I'm seeing out on the ground now, that all Clarence were talking about is they're setting up pretty much behind the ball, leaving that forward line open. So they're just wanting to kill this quarter as much as they can because they're obviously down by quite a bit.
Want to try and grab a player for us after the game?
Yeah, we'll try to get someone out there. I'm sure the North boys who've been pretty happy with what they're doing so far, they'll be very keen for a chat.
And looks like there's no injury worries for either team.
No, it's all looking very, very clear. The job down here has been pretty light on for me. The obviously the breeze is still there. It's blowing a little bit more across the ground when I was just out in the middle there, but it's certainly still a factor for Clarence kicking towards the city end.
Keep your eye on that Bombers score, Warnie. Essendon, that is.
No, they're no good. They're no good.
Go the Blues. They're underway here in the third quarter. The last quarter, thankfully. Brady Jones gives the ball back. It's going to be a free kick and 50. Couldn't see what that was for. Running through the mark, he's pointing at Standen. And this is going to be a horrific start to Clarence because Mark Walsh is going to get the ball. He's going to kick the ball from about 40 metres out directly in front. And this could be North Launceston's 18th because he is an excellent set shot at goal, Mark Walsh. I've called it, Groobs. Let's see what can happen. Devonport on top down at Devonport. Lauderdale got the win down the coast today as well, and it's a classic at KG5. North Launceston dominant here. Mark Walsh, 40 metres out, directly in front. Straight over to the goal umpire's head, Groobs.
Well done, Macca.
Never in doubt. Mark Walsh gets the 18th for North Launceston. They move on to 18-7, 115 to Clarence 5-9-39. Inside 1 minute, Dave Moore.
Yes, and they've started the quarter in impressive fashion. They've started the other quarters. Remember their first quarter, I think they had a couple of goals on the board very quickly. And that's their 18th goal, as Macca said, for the afternoon. 18-7, 115 to 5-9-39 back in the middle. Mark Walsh again gets the hit out from Lee, who's been good and impressive once again. Out to the right half forward flank. Pearce is in control of the ball. Has he got it now? Yes, he has. Under pressure from Fisher. His kick's not a good one. It's going to be out of bounds on the full. Good pressure there from Michael Fisher.
Team stats would be amazing, I reckon, boys, like total possessions, total marks. They've just slaughtered them. They've had control of the footy from the first bit of the day, apart from a couple of little instances, but they've really been in control of the Bombers, and they really stamped themselves as premiership favourites.
Douglas takes the ball, kicks it to his defensive goal square. Oh, it's a risky kick. It goes straight to Tom Bennett. I think the offending player there was Ian Callanan, experienced player. And Bennett could line up for his fifth. For our radio listeners, he's right on the boundary on the left-hand side of the park. He'll be about 35 out. As the sunshine blazes here at UTAS Stadium. Weather's been good today. Here comes Bennett for goal for number 5. Across the face. Out of bounds on the full. In fact, poor old boundary umpire has caught one there.
Well, they've had their run-ins with contact with the umpire this week, Dave. Did you find it interesting that they challenged that and poor old Rick DeSolder went from a reprimand to 2 weeks?
Yeah, and he missed the next contest as well.
Yeah, and of course they got a bye, so effectively he misses 3 weeks of footy.
Long kick out. Wade Wall from the back. Off hands towards Callanan. Shovels it forward. chance there to clear it, but it's going to be a ball up on the right half forward for North Launceston. They lead here by 76 points. We might get to Cam Brown halfway through this quarter if it gets closer at KG5. Mac, I'll get you keep an eye on that.
Well, Brownie wants us to get to us early because he wants to get home by 4:30 and watch his beloved Bulldogs.
We'll see what happens as Lee fists it away. Some young supporters down here chanting. It's great to hear. Now it comes towards Thomas. He's been a little bit quiet since the first quarter. Kicked 2 early goals. Now it's with Ponting. Top possession winner on the ground. He kicks inside 50. Shoved out of the way was Burt. Good work in defence there from Fisher. He's under pressure. Gets handball away to Gabe Chambers. Kick up to the wing. Falls straight into the lap of the big man, a former Devonport player. That's Alex Lee. Played in the Premiership a couple of years ago. Leans back on a kick. Outside, inside 50 and a good mark in defence.
Is it Holmes?
Yes, no, it's young Douglas, I think.
Douglas.
Kick now clear. That's marked here on the half-back flank by Keegan Wiley. Wiley goes short. Off the hands of Castle, near the boundary line. A bit of sting going out of this game now. It's out of bounds right in front of the interchange areas for Clarence. TSL footy, next game we're covering is in 2 weeks. North versus Burnie here at UTAS Stadium. We might see Lockhart and Whitford back for that one. We'll wait and see. Here's Cox Goodger now. He bursts clear. Kick inside 50, not a great one. Good mark to Michael Fisher. With a mongrel punt. All goes short to Callanan. Takes the mark. Still inside defensive 50. On the left foot now. Finds Palmer Hughes. He fumbles. He's under pressure here. Good chase here from Pearce. Palmer Hughes does well. Gets it here towards Harper. Kicked a goal earlier in the day. Nice spin out of congestion there by Harper. And his short kick goes to Chambers, who takes a mark in front of Ponting. Chambers for the Roos. He goes short. He finds a man on by himself inside 50. And that's Sam Siggins. We had a couple opportunities in the second quarter when the game was in the balance. And I'm sure he'd like to atone here by putting this one through from about 50 out. Macca.
Devonport 10-7-67 lead the Tigers 5-8-38. Glenorchy by 7 points down at KG5. Not much happening there in the last. In the AFL, I don't know what Booney's doing down there, but
just wait for the kick, Mac, and we'll get back to the AFL as Siggins comes to the man on the mark. Slow, deliberate approach. Stutters now. Delivers. Distance could be a concern. Falls to the pocket. Holmer goes up and takes a strong mark. AFL Macca.
Yeah, the Dons by 2 and the Giants by 41.
So it looks like the Giants, they might almost be premiership favourites after this round. Outside defensive 50, rising high, good mark. Jason Bailey. Bailey now, he's going to be about 60 out. It's hard to believe this contest is in this state at the moment. We thought it was going to be a close one right to the wire. A quiet crowd here now at UTAS Stadium. Bailey now, it goes back. Long kick. Out of bounds on the full. There'll be a relieving free kick by Ryan Mansell in the back pocket. Here's Matthew McGee.
Yeah, just having a look at that. Alex Lee charged the mark. You'd think the umpire must have called play
Yeah,
on because it would have been over the mark. Tarrant Thomas, railway wing side of the ground. Gets a kick out from Foon. So here's Thomas. He turns the ball over though. Not the best of kicks. Clarence going to go through Callanan on the left. And Callanan kicks the goal. A bit of a secondary one for Clarence, but it's 6 goals for them. They move on to 6-9-45. They trail North Launceston 8-17-115.
Yeah,
so Callanan, he's been okay. Callanan, he's kicked a goal.
He's probably playing more of a midfield role than we might have expected today as well.
He doesn't, he's that age now where he'd love to just be floating around, forward line jagging them, and he's even playing off the back of the square at the moment and whatever. But what a terrific player he's been for the state of Tasmania. Of course, ended up in the VFL and won all the medals there, and then went over the Sandful and then played for the Adelaide Crows, and now is finishing up his footy in Clarence, which is brilliant for us as a state. Ball up here in the centre corridor. Tarrant Thomas, well done, gives it to Simpson. The youngsters combine, but Simpson only kicks it as far as Michael Fisher. Fisher gives it over the top to Palmer Hughes. He's got no one to go to. He's got to come back inboard. Dinky kick over to Chambers. Can't take the mark. Ball comes over now. Simpson through the middle of the ground. Gives it to Walsh. Walsh, he's been a real prime mover, silky mover he is. He's got Tom Bennett in that pocket all on his own. Bennett busts through, left, right. Gives the hands over to Pearce, his good mate. Over the top, what a handball. Over to Couch, top of the square, McCulloch. Left, right, snap, can't get his boot to it. Ball kicked, I think that's Curtis. Is that Casey Curtis' first goal? It is.
Yep.
What a goal, Casey Curtis. They just kept pushing it forward. They had multiple opportunities to kick for goal. And Casey Curtis gets the goal for North Launceston. Is this his debut, Dave? Do you know,
No,
Casey
he played
Curtis?
a game earlier in the season. I think he might have played one last year as well. But
I don't know whether he's kicked a goal or not, but it's a pretty good goal to get at this stage of the game. It's a bit of a party time now, isn't it, for North Launceston? They're 19-7-121. It's a massive score.
it's 8 goals straight since half time.
Against quality opposition versus Clarence 6-9-45.
Back in the middle of UTAS Stadium, it's 8.5 minutes into this last quarter. We'll have all the news from the rooms after the game. Macquarie will be down there, and Warney will also catch a player on the ground after the contest. Free kick picked out from that ruck contest. And looks like it's going to Mark Walsh. He's had a fantastic game today.
The
He gets
Blues are
better
back
every
in
time I
front.
see
The
him.
Blues are back in front.
Oh, big news there in the AFL as Walsh goes sideways. Finds Foon over the top to Casey Curtis. Kicked that last goal. He takes his time, too much time. Gets pushed off his kick. Chance for a turnover here. Callanan towards Chambers. Taron Thomas gets in the way. He's tackled to the ground. And it'll be a resulting ball up about 45 out from the north goal. Macca.
Yeah, first blood in the final term to the Blues through Rulla Kelly Mansell. They trail now by 2 points at KG5.
In about 5 minutes or so, we might put a call into Cam and just see what's happening down there as Thomas gets it. Handball to Simpson. Inside 50. Shark by Callanan coming to this game. Kicked a goal a little while ago. Up to the wing. Knocked away from Wall by Lee. Still in play. Lee tries to get it clear. Off the ground there by Harper. Up here towards Connor Young. Good contest there with a Clarence opponent. It'll be a ball up just the attacking side of the wing for the Clarence Kangaroos. They trail by 76 points. 1 versus 2. And looks like North Launceston will now finish on top of the TSL ladder and have that first week of the finals off. And sit back and see what happens.
And of course play their first final back here as well. If they win that, the grand final will be here.
And we'll be here right through the final series, of course, on City Park Radio. Lee gets it down towards Cox Goodgie. He rolls on the ground. He's a bit tired, I think. He should be penalised here. Ling and also Callanan. No.
He's probably one player, Cox Goodgie. You know, he's been serviceable today, kicked that terrific goal. But, how many possessions Cox Goodgie total? 14? Yeah, so...
A bit down on the usual.
A quiet day, yeah, my word. Which is good. There's 15.
There's 15. Gets out here towards O'Brien. In support is Holmes. James Holmes up towards half forward. That's a good mark. And that's taken there by... Chambers, thank you. Over the top to Jones in the headgear. Brady Jones been all right today. Kicks up towards full forward. Blackburn might have been infringed. He wants to be the free kick. Play on, says the umpire. Over the top now towards Foon. Foon gets it towards half back and just out of the reach there of Tom Bennett. In fact, that was Hayden Goss, I beg your pardon, who kicked that one towards Bennett. It's out of bounds on attacking 50 for Clarence. 19-7-1-21. North Launceston Clarence 6-9-45.
That's all the Oz kickers down below. You can hear they've had a great turnout North Lonnie today.
O'Brien, handball to Chambers, inside 50, over the top. Here's a chance for Hanslow if he can pick it up. He's beset upon. Good work there from Fletcher Bennett. There'll be a stoppage in the right forward pocket. Macca.
11 and a half minutes gone. North Launceston by plenty here at UTAS Stadium. It's been 1 versus 2, but the scoreboard hasn't reflected that. Henslow gets the tap down from Wade Wall, but the kick only goes as far as Event. He flies the ball over the top to Connor Young. Kicks the ball long and strong. Here's Big Louis. Can't put the hands up. Ball comes down to Bennett. Bennett's tackled. Ball comes down. There's Homer. He's battling with Fisher. He's got to be under the footy. The umpire's circling, but he says ball up.
We might quickly get down to Cam Brown at KG5. Cam, how's it unfolding in the last quarter?
2 goals to Launceston to start this last quarter. One from Jake Hines and another one from Sam Rundle to put Launceston in front. 11-9-75, 11-6-72 Glenorchy. 12-minute mark of the last quarter.
Cheers, Brownie. Back to you in a little while.
Ball comes in for Clarence. That's through Gabe Chambers. Ball comes down deep. Good mark taken by Jordan Roberts just at the top of the square. He'll be put on a 45-degree angle. But Clarence, they need these goals for their percentage. With Lauderdale having a big win at West Park, it is realistic that Lauderdale could finish top 2. Couple of weeks, Lauderdale are going to play Clarence. That'll be the battle for second and third. He comes in and he kicks the goal for Clarence, does Jordan Roberts. And that's Clarence's 7th goal for the game. It's been a real battle. And what did they have? They kicked 2 in the first. They didn't kick any goals in the second, and 3 in the third. And it's now 2 in the last. So 7-9-51 Clarence. Trail North Launceston 19-7, 121. Back to that 70-point margin.
It's a 70-point margin here. It's a thriller at KG5, and that's got big ramifications for Launceston. It's a funny situation. They will wrap up 5th place if they win. They may get into 4th, depending on results towards the end of the year. We'll keep an eye on that one. Well does well to get the tap, and only as far as Couch. Couch off the ground, inside 50. Chance here. Fumble. Donnelly gets it away to McCulloch. Over the top to Pearce. Pearce can have a shot on goal. He doesn't. He does the unselfish thing and kicks it to Couch, who plays on straight away. Wasn't 15, I don't think. He kicks it into the pocket. Ponting's there. Good work by Clarence in defence. 1-2 there with Callanan. Chance for Brady Jones. He hits the contest hard. Good work out of defence. The Roos clear up towards the wing, towards Wade Wall. He can't take the mark, although it's over the shoulder. Gets paid. It was great work out of the back line there by Nathan Douglas. Was involved 2 or 3 times there.
Big issues in the Seabull, Dave. Northwest Thunder have had a couple of flights cancelled out of Launceston. If they don't make it to Dandenong by 9 o'clock, they're going to have to put a forfeit in.
Oh, gee, that's big news. As Blackburn takes the mark, kicks towards the half-forward flank. Great mark, Jay Foon. He's had a fantastic game again today. Racks up possessions consistently to Connie Young, who has to get away to it quickly. Short kick to Fletcher Bennett. He does well and gets in the middle of the ground to Mitch Donnelly. Is he paid the mark? Yes, he is. He just had enough purchase. Donnelly back into the centre square. Looks around. Goes short looking for Pearce. And it's a well-placed kick. Pearce now right on centre wing. Leans back. Kicks it up towards Bart McCulloch. Tended to by Fisher. McCulloch gets there first. Can he shrug the tackle? He does. He gets a handball away just in time perhaps. Taron Thomas is there. Good work, Michael Fisher. He's been one of the good servants today for the Roos. Gets over towards Holmes. Holmes handball to Castle, who fumbles. Back to Holmes. They're in trouble here, Clarence. Calm though off half back. Now they get some clear possession, and Callanan takes the mark in the middle of the park.
Callan right in the middle of UTAS Stadium. Over the top here finds Jared Harper. Harper looks for Standen inside 50. Could have been interfered with, and he was. So Trent Standen, Jay Foon just put the hand on the shoulder and chopped the arms. And Trent Standen, he's kicked 1 goal for the game, one of the first ones for Clarence. He went in the book early as well. So it's going to be an interesting week at the Tribunal for Clarence, with at least 2 players reported. We don't know exactly who the second one was, but Standen definitely went in the book for the first. So Standen, 30 metres out, pretty much directly in front, kicking towards the city end of the ground, and he kicks his 2nd goal for the game. Clarence have kicked 8. They move on to 8-9-57, trailing North Launceston 19-7, 121. 16 minutes gone last quarter, this round 18 clash between the top 2 sides. The scoreboard doesn't reflect that. Thank you for listening today to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, or via the online stream. We hope you've enjoyed the call. We'll hear from Cam Brown quite soon down at KG5. They've got the close one, and things are going on down there. Goals to Rundle and then Rowbottom for Glenorchy. So Launceston 76 trailed the Magpies 78. 14 gone at KG5.
Yeah, we'll get back to Cam in a little while. But play continues here. And Clarence not giving in this last quarter. They've kicked a few goals. Here's Couch. Inside out kick. Mungrel inside 50. Bit of a chaos ball. Off the hands of Holmer. Falls to Castle. Off the fingertips there of Siggins. Falls to Callanan. He's had a great last quarter. Chain of handballs now ends up here with Keegan Wiley. Wormburner, effective to Buchner, takes the mark. Right on centre wing, goes short, under pressure. Well done, Taron Thomas. Falls to the front. A good tackle laid there on Curtis. And now we've got a free kick for holding. Play on to advantage. Here's Zach Buchner taking his time. Just gets his kick away before the tackle comes on top of him. And in defence, Ryan Mansell does well to knock the ball away from his Clarence opponent out of bounds.
Out of bounds, right forward pocket, Clarence's end of the ground. It's a job too far for them though. 64 points behind, and Clarence, they're going to head back down the Midlands Highway. They'll still be in second with Lauderdale right up their backsides with a massive clash to come in a couple of weeks. down at Blunston Arena. Ball comes over through Baker. Gives the ball to Couch. She's been brilliant today, the coach. Back in fine form. Jackie Avent's also been brilliant. He's one of the little fellas in Mitchie Donnelly. He's got the 45 kick on. Cox Goodger breaks the 50. He's got the whole 50. He's going to go over the top to Walsh, you'd imagine. Mark Walsh takes the mark and strolls in. That is North Launceston on a plate there. Absolute brilliant zinging of the footy. Inside the square, outside the square, 45-metre kicks. And a brilliant play. I think we're going to go back down to Brownie, KG5.
Yeah, a goal to Braden Webb, but just as you cross, boys, a great snap from Kelly Mansell has put Launceston back in front. It's Launceston 12-11-83 to the Magpies 12-6-78, 19-minute mark of the last quarter.
Oh, it's a thriller down there at KG5. Thanks, Brandy. We'll get back to you once more before full time. But wasn't that a great... the highlights really...
Just Donnelly, little Donnelly out to Couch, and then, that brilliant kick on that 45. And brilliant goal to Mark Walsh through a lot of hard work up the ground.
I think the YouTube highlights might break the 10-minute barrier this week, Mac. It's
Plenty of
fantastic.
highlights. The ball comes through the back here to Callanan on half-back. Callanan left foot, little pokey kick. Puts Roberts under pressure. Back through the middle of the ground to Chambers. He fumbles. Over the back to Brady Jones. Looks inside 50. Not a great kick. Ball goes down in front of Stan. He's got Donnelly on the inside. He tries to go round the maul. Over the back here is Buchner, left, right, puts the foot down now, Buchner, check side, there's another highlight, not quite, Dave Moore. Buchner misses near side on the check side, and that's another point to Clarence, 8-10-58, North Lonnie 27-127.
Half-time North Lonnie were 11-7-73, they're now 27-127, so 9 goals straight in the second half. Fletcher Bennett takes the mark inside his defensive 50. Yeah, not a bad debut from the young man.
Very good.
Son of Tasmanian cricketer Richard Bennett. Oh, Caelan Baker in good contest with Castle. He tries to shrug it. Well done, Timmy Castle. Yes, he's rewarded. Caelan Baker took on a little bit too much there. He's an improved player this year, the ex-Storm player. Play on now for Castle. Oh, Siggins under pressure. Over the top now to Douglas. Douglas to the hot spot. Chance to the front. Trent Standen takes the ball and boots it through out of UTAS Stadium. And another goal to Standen and another goal to Clarence. 9-10-64. North Launceston 27-127. How many goals now for Standen, Macca?
2. Have I got that right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, I've missed one. Might be 3. 3 to Standen, thank you. I normally miss one every now and then. The Blues have kicked away by 10. That's the Carlton Blues, not the Lonnie Blues. They're only a couple of points in front, but Booney's up and about. They're leading Essendon. As I said, wouldn't it be ironic if Carlton put Essendon's finals chances to bed in the AFL? If Carlton, their nemesis from years gone by, the big rivalries.
I think we're struggling to get a footy here, so it might be a good time.
Get on to Cam Brown again.
Maybe get down, maybe quickly get down there to Cam Brown before the restart of play.
You're right, we'll go with Brownie even if the ball is balled up, because a big clash down there.
We'll get to him in just a moment. The score here, 127-64. So a margin of 63 points, and Brownie's on the line.
You've reached Cameron Brown.
Oh, no.
He's busy. The principal down there, big Cameron Brown.
We'll get back to him in a minute.
Ball's up. Here's Tarrant Thomas, 1-2. 2 nice touches to Thomas. Gets the ball across here to little Mitchie Donnelly. So Donnelly, 55 metres out. He's looking left, looking right. He gives the ball over to Walsh. He fakes it. Comes back inboard. He's a clever little player, little Donalds. Ball taken nearly at the back there by Jake Pearce. And it's well tackled by Tom Couch. Umpire says play on. Ponding's there. Jake Pearce is there. Good tackle, Pearce. The umpire says, in fact, it was a good tackle, but the opposition player didn't have the ball, and it's going to be a free kick to Clarence, right defensive pocket. I'll try and get the score for you, Dave. Down at KG5 for all our Lonnie listeners.
Siggins takes the ball from the short kick out from the back pocket. And a lot of energy going out of this game. Not a great kick from Siggins there, looking for O'Brien. All strong clash there with Baker. Good work there from both players. Comes out now towards Bailey. He gets out of a couple of tackles. He kicks up towards the wing. Foon in good position to take the mark. Second grab, he takes it.
Mitch Rainberg kicks a goal, Dave. They're a point up now, the Magpies, 22 gone.
Oh, it's a thriller at KG5. So much hanging on that result. Ryan Mansell gets back to Foon. He's confronted by 2 players. He shrugs them off. He still gets handball away to Baker.
Oh, that's an indiscriminate
And,
tackle.
yeah, that could be a free kick, and
He's
it's on here at the boundary line, right in front of the interchange box.
The Tigers are back to within 15 down at, where are they playing? Devonport.
Yep.
Yep. Braden Batchelor kicks 4.
Strong bodies, North Launceston back, aren't they? Look at Foon there and Baker, Cox Goodger. They consistently break tackles. Tackle laid there on O'Brien by Walsh. Spoils out here. Good work there from Mansell. Chain of handballs ends up now with Young. Tom Donnelly's in trouble, the big fella. He gets it away. Nice kick to the advantage of Bennett. Great work, Tom Donnelly. Here's Bennett. He gets around, goes short, and finds Ben Simpson, the young guns for North Launceston. Over the top. A shepherd there by Curtis allows Event to get a kick inside 50 to Holmer, who takes the mark. 45-degree angle.
The Giants by 35. Holmer comes back inboard to Ponting, and Ponting takes the mark. 40 metres out, gives it to Cox Goodger on the left. There's the bullet, Cox Goodger, and he drills it, Cox Goodger. There's North Launceston, another goal. Cameron Brown, KG5.
Mitch Rainberg goal. It's put Glenorchy back in front. Glenorchy 13-6-84 to the Blues 12-11-83. 24-minute mark, last quarter.
Thank you,
cheers,
Cameron.
Benny. We'll get back to you in a moment.
It's like the old round the grounds, Dave, isn't it?
Oh, that's great.
21-7-133, North Lonnie lead, Clarence 9-10-64. The Giants are in front by 35. 14,500 at Manuka today, braving a very chilly Canberra. Brilliant crowd for the ACT. There's the throw up. Louis Holmer comes down to Mark Walsh. Here's Tarrant Thomas. Couple of important touches late. And the ball is going to be balled up as he gets tackled. So Thomas, he set the scene early, didn't he, with 2 vital goals in the first quarter. Excellent tap out by Holmer, looking for Thomas, who falls over. Ball comes down again, and this game is well and truly over. She's all happening at KG5 though. Cameron Brown, he'll be on the line as soon as another goal is kicked. North Lonnie 21-7-133, lead Clarence here 9-10-64. It's Glenorchy by 3 down at, by 1 at KG5. Mitch Donnelly kicks in the man on the mark, gives it over to Thomas now on the rebound, and Thomas has been tackled again. Just in front of the major scoreboard here at Aurora Stadium. 25 minutes gone, can't be long left. As you said, Dave, what have North Lonnie kicked in the second half? They kicked 10 goals straight. 10 goals straight. Here the ball is taken by Clarence on the back line. Palmer Hughes on the left, and it's going to go out of bounds. And the ball is going to be taken by Jake Pearce to kick the ball back in. So Lauderdale winners today. Looks like Devonport have done enough to get home up the coast as well.
That's great news for Mitch Thorpe, isn't it? It's been through a difficult year. They've come close a few times, but to get that second win, they've got a big game against Launceston coming up soon too.
They do. They'd half back themselves down there at home. They were pretty good here against North Lonnie, weren't they, at Invermay Park?
They've definitely improved this year. They've got a real basis to work with, hopefully.
Jake Pearce is going to have the free kick. In fact, it's Alex Lee. He's going to kick the ball in. Inside is Zach Burt. 1-2 bites of the cherry play on the umpire says. Jake Pearce takes the crumbs. It's going to be repelled by Clarence from half back. The ball's going to come out in front of Harper. But it's going to be repelled here again by Foon. Foon comes across the ground to Simpson. I've liked his game today, the youngster. Simpson, he's going to cross the ball to Connor Young. He's going to be under attack, though, by Standen. He's tried pretty hard, Standen, all day. Just hasn't had the followers with him. It's well tackled there by Clarence. Ball goes out. The umpire says that is going to be a free kick to Castle. Castle, Standen, and well punched through there by Hayden Goss across the line, just inside Clarence's forward 50.
No injuries for either team today, Macca. That's good news.
No injuries.
The final series.
With North Launceston to get Tyron Mansell back, Lockhart back, and also Whitford. I'll be asking the coach about those after the game. See how far away they are. Ball comes down to O'Brien. O'Brien out of bounds in front of Wade Wall. 27 minutes gone now. North Launceston with 10 straight in the second half. They're 21-7-133, leading Clarence 9-10-64. You take over, Dave. I'm going to check that I've got the right amount of goal kickers.
No worries. Do a bit of accounting there as Lee gets it down towards Callanan. He's had a good second half, especially the last quarter. He gets penalised for a throw there. He gets it over to Chambers. A few things haven't gone right for the Roos today. It's going to be a free kick to Tarrant Thomas. Set the game alight in the first quarter with a couple of goals. He goes sideways. Ball now with Connor Young on half back. He kicks in the middle of the ground to Caelan Baker. He gets better every week for the Bombers. Short to Couch. The coach will be happy with his performance. Over to Donnelly. Donnelly streams up towards attacking 50. Beautiful kick to McCulloch. Is he going to be paid? No. The umpire rules it out there. And that's the final siren here at UTAS Stadium. And the final score, 21-7 at 133 North Launceston defeat Clarence 9-10-64. A big win by the Northern Bombers.
Goal kickers very quickly, Dave, before I go down the rooms. Tom Bennett with 4, McCulloch with 4. Both missed out in the party in the last. Cox Goodyear 2, Mark Walsh 2, Tom Couch 2, and Taron Thomas 2. Singles to Casey Curtis, Lewis Holmer, Caelan Baker, Mitch Donnelly, Zach Burt. So what's that, Dave? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goal kickers for North Launceston. Clarence, Callanan with 1, Harper with 1, and doubles to Jordan Roberts and Zach Buchner. The leading goal kicker for Clarence was Trent Standen with 3.
Okay, we've got Cam Brown now, who is down at KG 5, and looks like the final siren has gone there. Cam, what was the final result?
In the end, a win to the Magpies. A late goal from Mitch Rainbird sees them run out winners by a solitary goal in the end, Dave. So it was Glenorchy 14-6-90 over a gallant Launceston 12-12-84.
Okay, so a win there to Glenorchy, and Launceston, the
start let them down by the sounds of it, Brownie.
That's right.
What was that, Macca? Sorry?
The start let Launceston down. They came home well.
Yeah. No, good call. And they'd be ruining that first quarter where they just looked a bit tardy and some turnovers in that first quarter. As you say, it was 5-1 in that first quarter. But after that, Launceston's efforts were really strong, and unfortunately they couldn't quite get across the line. In fairness to Glenorchy, though, not a lot went their way. Josh Watts didn't come back on after half-time. Jordan Arnold was a late withdrawal as well, and Braden Webb, they had to play up forward.
Brownie, we'll get back to you.
Quarter.
Sorry, Brownie, we'll get back to your full report because we've got Adam Child on the ground with one of the players after the game, but we'll get back to you in a few minutes for a full wrap of that game at KG5.
No worries.
Cheers, Cam Brown. So Warnie's just circling there. I think he's about to grab a player as the Bombers gather in together, and it looks like he's down there with Zach Burt. Warnie, fire away.
Yeah, we got Zach Burt down here. Forward. Oh, okay. Hang on. We don't have Zach Burt here at the moment. We're the boys are heading into the rooms.
That's all right, Warnie. I could see Couchy's keen to have a chat with the boys straight away, so that's fair enough.
We'll head in there very shortly. We'll hear the song.
No worries. Thanks there to Warnie. So we'll wrap up here very quickly now for our stream viewers. Hope you've enjoyed the game today. It's been one of the highest quality games groups I think we've seen this year.
Yeah, really good top of the table clash there.
Just maybe quickly go through some of the team stats before we finish up.
Team stats for the match. North Launceston won the hit-outs there 57-40. Clearances, North Launceston's way 33. Inside 50s 55-41. Again, North Launceston. Marks inside 50, 15 to North Launceston, 11 to Clarence. And free kicks finished up almost pretty even, 24 to North Launceston, 22 to Clarence.
Okay, we might get in a few minutes, Grues, we might get the full game stats as well.
Yep.
Okay. And Booney will have your individual stats in just a moment, but we might take a break here from UTAS Stadium, and we'll farewell now to our live stream viewers. Final score here today, it was North Launceston 21-7, 133, Clarence 9-10-64. Farewell to our stream viewers, and some messages now from City Park Radio.